Bon. Bon, bon, alors on est parti. Alors là, les gens peuvent voir.
Oui, faut juste pas oublier de partager vos documents.
On a le micro. Donc on l'allumera comme d'habitude. Ouais.
Là, il est déjà
Ah, il est
allumé.
allumé. Ah oui, d'accord. Je l'ai éteint.
Voilà, juste le mutard.
Les PowerPoint.
Et partagez vos documents.
Et partager l'écran.
Voilà.
Ouais. Ouh, bon, sur les chapeaux de roue. Quelle heure il est?
Il est 8h22.
8h22, donc ça va, non, ça va. Ah tiens, il y en a encore qui est paumé.
Bon, je vous laisse.
Ouais,
J'ai une
merci beaucoup.
réunion derrière.
Merci beaucoup, en tout
Allez,
cas.
bonne journée.
Merci. Ah, voilà nos amis Genevois, n'est-ce pas? J'ai reconnu la voix. Ça va?
Bien, impeccable. Plaisir de te revoir.
On se renvoie quand?
Pardon.
Alors, j'ai vu que nos amis malaisiens s'étaient branchés.
C'est super.
Ouais.
Vous discutez avec.
Oui, j'ai fait une émission avec Stéphane Ballon.
Ah non, ouais.
Ouais, ça
Ils ont un menu à faire, hein, donc
c'est ça.
je crois que
Un peu. Donc, moi, je suis expliqué une bonne demi-heure pour faire avec lui en visio. Et après, je dis, bah, n'hésite pas à m'envoyer tes propositions.
ils ont fait les produits.
Ça peut arriver
Cette semaine. Ah, ouais. Ah ben, je viens de l'écrire hier soir.
Ouais.
Il vient, ça fait une semaine qu'il est définitivement au Japon.
Ah.
Ouais, il vient
pour avoir c'est quoi
son
ça?
permis de travail. Parce que j'ai écrit pour savoir s'il était ici ou pas, si c'était à Paris ou au Japon. Puis c'est l'année dernière.
Il a suivi une fille.
Exactement, ouais. Ouais. Il a fait des allers-retours, mais il était encore en permis voyage touriste l'année dernière. Et puis hier, j'ai
Et il fait quoi dans la vie?
alors, rien, mais il aimerait de la boulangerie.
On a déduit son rêve, comme il nous l'avait déjà expliqué quand la dernière fois qu'on l'a vu, mais ça fait déjà 2 ans.
Salut-nous.
Il nous a dit qu'il voulait bosser dans une boulangerie-pâtisserie au Japon.
Ouais.
Et,
Bon, il est malade, parce qu'il y a arrêté.
Ouais.
Enfin, vous comprenez, c'est pas facile.
Non.
C'est vraiment bon ça.
Et en plus, moi je connais aussi un peu le Japon, c'est pas pareil. Le farine, l'eau, tout est différent. Il va falloir un peu adapter, mais il est intelligent.
Ouais.
Avec la tête qui se lève.
Mais l'an dernier, oui, il voulait travailler pour la boulangerie-pâtisserie Le Merveilleux. C'est une chaîne, il y en avait une à Japon. Et puis, un hasard a fait que je connais en fait le français qui a parlé, c'est un Suisse, qui est venu ouvrir là-bas.
Et acheter la franchise.
Bonjour, c'était vous, François?
Ah, très bien, bonjour. Très bien. Alors, pardon, donc, Kelly.
Oui, j'ai vu.
Théa, pardon.
Oui, un nouveau nom,
Voilà.
ouais.
Donc, là où viennent, ils peuvent trouver à commencer, donc de la société qui ils vendent
Des notes, mais qu'on n'a pas pu prendre, on s'est fait même confisquer les trucs à la douane.
Alors,
On a réussi à.
on
Ça,
avait
ils ont cru que c'était du gingembre, parce que j'ai mis dans les bouteilles, donc ça a passé. Donc, oui, là, ça a passé.
vous compliquez plein de trucs, j'ai dit.
alors, j'en profite. L'idée, c'est on a 2 introductions. J'hésite à faire la boutique dans l'introduction parce que les clients n'ont pas vu de s'en à la boutique.
Ah, d'accord.
J'hésite de le faire, ce qui pourra faire douter, ça risque de prendre du retard,
Ah.
mais je ne sais pas trop. Je ne sais pas encore. Ah, ouais, il y a deux introductions. Ensuite, il y a une 6 présentations.
Il y a combien de temps? Parce que là, c'est commencé à 9h.
Oui, il y en a, on va dire les infos 10, et ensuite 6 fois 5 fois 20, donc 120, c'est vers 9 heures.
Ah ouais.
Non, c'est trop ça. Donc, aussi, une demi-heure de produit. 9 et demi, on ne va pas dire 20, on va dire 15, parce que c'est peu.
Ouais.
Et si les questions ne jamais, de toute façon, et pendant que le jury libère à on les dit, et puis ensuite, on dit ça dans le jury, s'il veut bien. Vous présentez tous les deux ou c'est pas carré?
Comme je veux.
Mais ça dépend de votre présentation.
Nous, c'est facile.
Et peut-être, on va
Je peux parler en
Alors, ça, dans le jury, ça fait pas mal. Les
D'accord.
partenaires comme le jury.
Ok.
Alors, les critères, il faut être plus près possible de la note. Ensuite, les chefs sont là pour dire complètement bon, ça va. Et puis, qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autres comme critères?
respect du thème.
Ouais, le respect du thème, mais c'est tellement vaste.
Ouais,
dans la note, c'est tout dans le futur. Donc, on n'aura pas Yolanda, parce qu'elle a dit ça hier. On aura En revanche, on aura un chef du Cordon Bleu, Guillaume Guilbert, qui avait gagné donc, un sushi notamment.
Ah ouais.
Qui avait fait un
Au
kilo.
début, ça c'était les premières éditions, ça.
Ah non, c'était le 10e, je crois.
Ouais, ah.
Ou le 9e, 10e, ouais. Ou 7e.
Ah, ok.
Ouais. Alors, je suis en train de me dire, si on ne veut pas retarder, peut-être que.
Ah, donc tu veux finir, et donc à midi pile, en gros, la cible, c'est quoi? C'est à midi.
Alors, donc, on vise de finir à midi. Alors ensuite, j'ai une salle en fait dans mon bureau. On emmènera tout dans le bureau. Et puis, on peut déjeuner ensemble.
Volontiers, ouais.
Voilà. Mais ça, c'est ça va, oui, ça va.
Petit bout d'histoire.
C'est quelque chose à donner.
Alors, attends, il faut reprendre les mots.
Pas bien chaud. Ah non, par contre, il faut un petit récipient parce qu'il fait de la mousse.
Ah oui, mais ça, c'est certain.
Ouais.
Un récipient. Ou alors tu le fais dans la casserole et puis.
Ouais.
Bon.
Non,
Sinon, je peux aller chercher un récipient.
non, et puis l'électricité, il peut faire.
À l'électricité, j'ai une rallonge. Donc, on a tout ce qu'il faut là.
Ouais, les assiettes, parfait.
Ouais, ça va être une mini bouchée, mais qui nous ont confisqué la moitié des fois.
Ouais, non, on fait des menus bouchés.
C'est trop grand ça.
Ouais, c'est trop grand. Et puis, des. Ouais, je sais pas des.
Oui, j'en ai plein des cuillères.
Ah, parfait.
Parce que je peux faire vraiment dans les cuillères.
Donc, tu as besoin d'un bol, quoi. Ça.
Ouais, parce que c'est un petit litre, c'est 2 fois un petit litre.
Un bol. Un petit panier, d'accord, vous allez chercher. Alors, la question, c'est quand je fais ça, les habitudes, il faut que je fasse un entrée, et j'allège, et puis je les prépare, et je les fais passer quand on fait une part, on est dans le même temps.
Ok,
On peut chercher la liquide et
Par nous, on peut faire le service quand tu.
Ah, ok,
Ah oui, je me sens bien.
d'accord, donc, on nous parle à la porte, à la liquide et une femme, d'accord. Si entre-temps, vous êtes dans le café, il y a la cafétéria juste à côté.
ok.
Normalement, je devrais venir avec vous pour vous l'offrir, mais si vous ne cherchez
Non, ouais, c'est ça.
Tout à l'heure, la cafétéria, il était perdu, on va voir. Voilà. Alors, d'autres choses, hein, juste un récipient.
Et alors, pour servir, c'est bon? T'as pas poussé devant?
On mettra dans les petites cuillères, comme ça.
Ouais, c'est bon.
D'accord, bon.
Pardon?
Déjà, parce que.
Je suis un peu regarde.
Ok, bien, bien.
On va bien.
Ouais.
De Suisse, du coup, c'est.
Oui, on est de Genève. Ouais.
Tout ce qui est du coup, les notes préparées, c'est ça?
Oui, exactement. Ben, on a rentré, il y avait, je sais pas si tu as connu Michael Ponty de Itimussu.
Ok, oui, avec nous, c'est ça aussi.
Voilà, bah, lui, il est parti, puis on a repris en fait une partie de ce qu'il disait. Alors, du coup, je pense que donc, au produit là, on n'a pas pu les prendre en démonstration parce qu'on nous a confié qu'on a fait l'avion ils nous ont confisqué, ouais, c'est pas
Ouais, mais le truc, alors qu'on avait tout pesé pour rentrer, parce qu'on a le droit à avoir un certain nombre de liquides. C'est comme ça. On était moins sympa cette fois-ci. On montre au moins un petit quelque chose.
Bon, c'est pas si du chemin. L'Empire,
Et puis les collègues, parce que nous, à la base, on participait dans toute première édition en tant que concurrent. Ouais, on a reçu des paquets de Louis-François.
D'accord.
Ça nous a permis de faire plein de trucs, ouais, des plein de symboles. Oui, Alexandrine, ouais. Ouais.
D'accord.
But anyone who's done what
Thank you, it's lovely to see you again. Yeah, well, lovely this time of year. I always. Very good. So we're going to do a demo.
very
Yeah,
small.
very small.
Complicated half part.
Oh, no.
But they're like, man, I had this, I had 3 times the amount. And this is really what I wanted people to know. Everything is not my.
So it's a cucumber dessert without cucumber.
Yes, I read your, have you enough to
Yeah.
get by anyway?
Make small
Yeah.
spoons. And
Yeah,
you're
it just makes
really
spoons.
tasting well. Just put everything, actually everything will be in here.
Okay. Oh, you have a butter as well, I'm doing a phone.
Yeah. Phone is here.
Oh, yeah.
And everything's nice, so this is very, look by look, it's gonna show people that it's possible to do 100% milk by milk.
That's-
And it's supposed to taste good.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point to those, just, yeah,
Because I mean, I've had a few other people try it out and when I tried it, I'm like,
no,
you can eat it.
okay. Well,
It just tastes like,
thank you.
yeah,
So,
it's awful. It's not, like, you know, you gotta find the right balance.
Yeah.
And, you know,
that's the truth. To get the right, amount of concentration.
then I had a pastry chef who's like, oh, but I'll make it. It's stupid.
Well,
And like, there's the line of, like, they're nasty and everything that's bad.
yeah,
I'm like, sugar's fine, your pastry chef looks good.
yeah, but not the whole
I'm like-
thing.
I'm like, here this is. And like, you have this much of it,
Mm-hmm,
and that's it.
yeah.
You don't have to finish it. The power is just natural.
No, but you're making a good point, it's to try and get over that from. Optimize the level.
Yeah, so I introduced them to different types of acids and, you know, like, you know, for this. I have a little bit here, the target acid.
You just need a.
Just a little bit.
Time,
Yeah. That's where you get, you know, the whole thing about saving time and money, it's like, you just need. And it changes your whole batch of everything.
yeah, it's for. Usually with the amount of gas, they just put a grain, 1 grain on the tons of one.
Yeah.
And you get the
And you get the
sensation.
sensation, yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool, I mean, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I do too. I think. Like over the years, we see more complex, where I am, more complex dishes.
Okay.
In the beginning, it's like, yeah, now it's getting more complex, so. It's good.
Yeah, it looks evolving, and
It's
it's in a good way.
Yeah, it's just to get your head over. This is new. Are you Kelly G?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I haven't met you. I don't know. That's you. Oh, okay, so it's usually Sandrine is usually.
Yes, she's
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Your.
Roisin brush from T Dublin. Yeah, nice to meet you too. Very good. So, let's see what we do. This is watch today. Exciting. Yeah. Anyway, everyone,
Well, we just need to wait a little bit. If people just look to-
you yesterday, was
It's a short time, I think like, I need to,
Oh, yeah, you're not from that master's program.
thank you for the showcase.
Okay, I'm confusing you with somebody else. Pardon.
Dans les participants. C'est ici, Maxime.
C'est Millie.
Oh, yes,
And
there's
there's,
a test.
Yes,
Ah,
so yeah, it's very worth it in English.
Oh, no, it's much better than my French, don't apologize at all.
We're going to start grilling a bunch of stuff,
Yeah,
and then we'll just pass the plates.
okay.
So can you start with that now?
Ah, j'ai mis dans le c'était l'augmentation du fer, genre avec là, ouais.
Je connaissais là. C'est pas encore ici.
Pardon?
Monsieur le Christ.
Oui, il était là, il y a ses affaires qui sont là, il était chercher encore des matériels.
Pas de vélo, mais. Non, mais c'est bon, on va lui dire ça une fois.
Dans le passage.
No, but what are we doing?
You do the jury the rating and the jury member and you do the demo and the presentation.
We're supposed to be talking and it's supposed to be demonstrating.
Yes. Hervé is always surprised. Oh, yeah, exactly. You're right there.
You had to talk more than me anyway.
Dans le salle de compte, sans
Tout est vraiment, en fait, la petite tuile, c'est l'amidon, un peu de gras, un peu d'eau, un peu de paprika, de riz, la petite terre, c'est sucre, poudre de cacao, de l'eau, et là aussi, il y a un peu de gras, un amidon, en fait, pour recréer un chocolat de A à Z, de gras, de sucre, de la poudre de cacao. Et ici, c'est de l'eau, les notes qu'on fait, la note de concombre, un peu de sucre, un peu d'agar et la citron. On est un petit peu et un peu dans le chocolat, enfin le chocolat, tout le chocolat, et le citron.
Ok.
Et les notes de papa qu'on met. Enfin, tout est. Ouais.
Avec les notes.
Tout est du chocolat. Là, il n'y a pas de plateforme ou de chocolat, en fait, c'est pas bon, je vais pas le prendre mal.
Non, mais c'est intéressant. Parce que le concombre sucré, j'ai jamais goûté.
Le concombre, ouais. Le concombre sucré, ça. C'est vite.
En fait, dans le petit donut bonbon, on a la note concombre.
Comment vous avez fait pour extraire le base de concombre?
Non, en fait, c'est en synthèse. Hein. Je sais pas retrouver le nom de.
À la molécule.
C'est plus la synthèse.
Is it chocolate powder?
Yes, so it's chocolate powder, in fact, to recreate kind of like, chocolate.
Yeah.
So I've got chocolate, I've got, cocoa powder, 100%. Sugar, water, oil, rapeseed oil. And then, in fact, the sugar and the water. 130. Then I have the other cultivation.
Okay.
Ah, c'est de dire, oui, c'est ça. Ça me vient. On s'est déjà rencontré. Le blanche, non? Non, ça me semblait.
Okay.
On a vu aussi.
Yeah, no, no, to that.
Moi, il me semblait que c'était avec les
Yeah.
I tried, because I tried them all. This was more challenging.
Ah oui.
Yeah.
Je pense que c'est Jean-Pierre qui l'avait dit.
You were- Thanks.
Ah bon, alors si on ne se connaît pas, je suis toi, je ne connais pas non. C'est vrai, les arabes, transformateurs, super. Vous le connaissez, non?
Non.
Guillaume Hiver.
Guillaume.
Donc, d'Algérienne et Pascal à Tonté.
Enchanté.
Voilà, alors j'ai apporté ouais, il fallait, ça.
Impeccable.
Et alors, vous voyez, cuisinier,
C'est notre passion.
vous êtes chef, hein?
Non, du tout. Je suis un candidat.
C'est pas la catégorie chef, c'est pas la catégorie.
C'est ça.
Ah, j'ai confondu avec un petit qui vous fait longtemps. Voilà, ça va faire. Non, c'est pas la chef. Et vous faites quoi, vous?
Moi, je suis d'ailleurs face à
Alors, attends, Guillaume, je m'occupe de toi. Diapo finale dans ta note. C'est bon. Voilà.
Yeah.
Ah oui, donc l'idée, c'est. Pardon, je ne peux pas présenter quel outil de vous, François. Ah oui, d'accord, d'accord. My proposal is,
Yeah.
I believe very briefly, myself, is finishing with beginner for them. When you talk very briefly about,
Oh, yeah, very good.
we distribute the service,
Yeah.
and then we have the research part of the girl.
Okay.
We tell them to do the minutes, even if the contract is
Yeah.
and then, so you will give the jury, now we will review with the jury, we are waiting for Patrick Perrin and Jean Peltier, and the other musician will be in the jury as well.
Okay.
So the part of the answer for technical matters and for artistic matters, so we will do the bit dish with the one. And then during the election, according to the criteria, there should be a president of the jury. Are you going to be the president of the jury? Manage the jury.
Oh, yeah.
Take more control. So during this time, that's why we need the demonstration.
Oh, yeah.
And then we come back, we know the way, and then for the jury, it's time because we have the.
Yeah.
I think the front of the jury, we have some other case, and then we go for it.
Okay.
We move on for the.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, is it all right?
Just to say, I will release for Yolanda. She's not here today.
Yeah.
If you like that, we will. Okay. So you will leave it.
Yeah, I have a notebook.
J'ai ramené un petit peu, mais j'ai pas tout de besoin unique, mais il faut que je les sorte sur la lettre. Mais je vais y aller en bleu pour continuer l'autre et puis.
Here,
Yeah.
I give them to you. There will be two categories. One for, maybe for, with I thought we have two categories, students and kids, so we work a lot.
Yeah.
So we have two categories. Mettre en évidence, peut-être là. Oh, la version comme voilà, et puis on va en parler. Enfin, je vous ferai intervenir pour vous parler de ça. On pense mieux les premiers que les deuxièmes. Okay. We will get out. Thank you for coming. I'm very happy. Oh, is it on? Because we have to see if we have people. You have people online? I don't know. Zoom. Ah, there are participants online. So, hello for the participants. Oh, I see some FIBDE students online. And I see also people from Thailand or Malaysia. So it's a really international contest. Indeed, it's an international contest because the FIBDE students are international. So, no, you are not international. You are from your own country. And the countries are different. So now the table of content is about because yesterday I made a remark to Andrea saying that you should present yourself before beginning. So my name is Hervé. I'm a physical chemist. I'm very excited about science and we are organizing with Roisin this contest for now 30 years. It began slowly, then there were more and more interest. Then there was generally, when you create something, there is a big surge at the beginning because people are curious. Then there is a slow decrease because, wow, I don't know, there is a slow decrease. And when you are strong enough and tenacious, I would say, tenacious means that you work hard without stopping, then there is again an increase and you succeed. So this is a lesson that I have to keep in my mind. So we have to succeed at the long run. So the fifth death, so food innovation, where is better food innovation than here? Nowhere. The food industry is not doing food innovation. They are just reducing the sugar or something, but it's a detail, not a real food innovation. Packaging sometimes innovates very well, but for food, you know, at the banquet, at the cocktail, we had the same than in the Middle Age. So it is not new. So you have to recognize that the food is not new, which is very strong, except that not by not cooking is really new. So the table now, you know who I am. By the way, it's written here, so you don't care. It was just for the purpose for Andrea, because she began the flash poster sessions with the content and not presenting herself. So you should know who is speaking. So now you know. And you know, even because there is some transpiration around, and this is physical chemistry. So you know. Now, the table of content for this morning. We are very happy to have an international jury. We have Rochester, we organized with me and Yolanda Rigaud, who was there today. But we have two partners today. Kelly from Louis François Compagnie. They are selling
Future food will be tested
agar-agar, alginate, but much more. For example,
this is echoed by the predictions made by the United Nations, which indicated population is expected to rise by 1.8 billion.
But there is a big range. You go online, you see Louis François, Louis François, and you see they are all over the world.
The United Nations have also stated the following. In Europe, 2025, the population is already
now we have these two people who are everything as well. They come from Geneva, Pasquale and Tomonte, ladies first. Now, Guyenne is professor of biochemistry in Geneva, plus many things that I don't understand very well, so I cannot explain. And Pasquale and Tomonte, her husband or her companion, I don't know if they are married, don't have to ask questions.
25% of the population is already aged 60 years old. That proportion is projected to reach 35% in 2050 and remain around the level in the second half of the century. Population in other regions are also projected to age significantly over the next decade.
We have now Guillaume Ziegler.
Rise in the elderly population, which is significant influence.
For the Cordon Bleu Institute. Cordon Bleu School has 36 schools all over the world, which is incredible. And big schools of cooking. So there is one in Palo Alto, there is one in Tokyo, there is one in, and so on. And Guillaume was a chef in Japan, and then he did something extraordinary, which was an artificial sushi. So there was no fish, no rice, but something that looked like a sushi. And he served that to the Japanese press. So the big Japanese journalists were there, and he gave them artificial, non-violent sushi. So later, the next year, he participated to the contest, only one, of course, because it's an incredible dish. So the recipe is published in the Handbook of Culinary Gastronomy, third part. You have, for the students, you have the book at the library. And what else? And we are waiting for Patrick Terrien. Patrick Terrien was the chef of the Cordon Bleu. He now retired, he will come, but he was lost in the RER. Jean-Pierre Lepelletier is coming from the north of France, so we are waiting for him. He will come, I know him. And Pierre-Dominique Cessillon, both were former president of the Top Blanche International Association. So they are very important chefs. So now we can begin by so we have the contents, that's fine. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. How does it work? Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so nothing to do with molecular gastronomy today, so I will not speak of molecular gastronomy. We won't speak of molecular cuisine and molecular cooking. We speak only, a slight detail. Synthetic cooking is a technique. Note by note cuisine is a style based on the technique. So this is why today, because there is art that we have to consider. The chefs are doing art, the engineers are doing technique. So we have to deal with note by note cuisine. So the jury will have to judge according to note by note cuisine, not synthetic cooking. So molecular gastronomy is a science of nature. We deal with experiments, equations. We study phenomena. For example, this one is very funny. It was MRI image of an onion that was cut with a bad knife. And with a bad knife on the edge, you see that the tissue has been destroyed. And when you destroy a tissue, you have all these chemical reactions and you make the brown color. So please have good knives when you cook. Now, we study strange things, for example, when you make a carrot stock. So we use an MR spectroscopy, we make the carrot stock, we have a lot of details, we have spectra. So you see, it has nothing to do with cooking in a way. So these are we study plant tissue. Many of you like plant tissue because plant tissue is fashionable, but perhaps also is sustainable. A plant tissue is a gel because you have a liquid into a solid, and we can do more. So I will skip that, it's useless. We have to calculate, which is fun and easy. And now you see molecular gastronomy in science and the application. So science is not technology. There is technique, technology, science, they are different. And the first application in 1980 was molecular cooking. So what does it mean? It means you cook with tools. So liquid nitrogen. In some minutes, I will make a liquid nitrogen sherbet because many of you never had before. It's incredible. It's much better. Okay. Now, note by note, cuisine, the style based on this technique. So I will show you one meal that was in Hong Kong, that I had in Hong Kong. So the chef was there. You see a siphon. When you see a siphon, molecular cooking or cuisine. And this is the meal, the plate, then the menu. Then the first dish, it was called the mummy. Here is the mummy. The bird is in the nest. Fake caviar, it's alginate pearl, so you know very well how to make that. It's so easy. So, but balancing meats, it was funny. The chef was adding water to the flowers, but you could eat everything, even the pot. So it was a very interesting dish. This one was called the pond, under the sea. When you see a foam, generally it's molecular cuisine as well, because you have the siphon and you make a foam, it's so easy. And you pay a lot, of course. Here is an Allemande. This one, I don't remember the name. Oh, the name of this dish was I go in the garden in the morning and the mist slowly disappears. You see, it was done with carbon dioxide or dry ice. Okay. The meat of Alaska, so it was, they say, cooked with liquid nitrogen. It is not cooked. It is hardened at the outside, frozen at the outside, but it's not cooked. What does cooking mean? This is a big question. And now another one, a coconut. It was not a coconut. Bread and butter. It was not bread and butter. The apple, they were layers. It was a solid, a liquid, a solid, a liquid. Very easy to do with liquid nitrogen. Now, making up before dessert, but it was a dessert. You could eat the box as well. And finally, but this is the past. So don't focus on this kind of thing. It is the past. You were not born. So you have to move to the future. And the future is not by not cooking. So this story is very simple. My grandfather had plums, Mirabelle. You had them at the cocktail yesterday evening, lunch. And when you have too much plums, you make a brandy. And he was putting the brandy into barrels. But why wood? And he didn't know that a friend of mine discovered that lignin is, when it is stored with ethanol, you make a lot of odorant compounds, in particular vanillin. So in 1982, probably, I added vanillin in my whiskey. So the whiskey is improved because you have the vanillin. The vanillin is for all brandies. Okay, the result was very, very interesting. But later, I discovered this compound. This compound is para-ethylphenol. It is wonderful because it transforms a bad whiskey into a Lafroig or Lagavulin. You see, and we have the chef Patrick Terrien, who succeeded to come. Thank you, Patrick. Okay, and in 1994, I published a paper. In Scientific American, and I said, okay, but we could make dishes from this. And it was the start of molecular cooking. So instead of cooking meat, instead of cooking vegetable, we consider that they are made from compounds. All these compounds are edible for sure because we eat them daily. And then the question is, imagine that a carrot is bad. You would add some sugar. So and sugar is one compound. So you can add sugar, but as well, you can have an organ of compound. And in Dublin, second year of Master Fitness, you will play with that. You will have the possibility to play. So it's wonderful that Roshin is organizing these classes. The number of possibilities of innovation is infinite. We have the chef Jean-Pierre Lepelletier coming from Brittany. You know, this guy did not have time to shave because he comes directly from his boat. Okay, and for food, you have to build the shape, the consistency, the color, which is very easy. So the compounds are water, tartric acid, glucose, glycerol, anthocyanins, sugar, of course, all the compounds from caramel, and so on and so on. And here is the first dish that was served in a restaurant in Hong Kong by Pierre Gagnère. It took me 6 months to help him to make the dish. So at that time, it was very difficult. Today, at the Cordon Bleu, last year, a student of the Cordon Bleu had a class of 2 hours, and then she did a dish, a wonderful dish, by the way, under the supervision of Guillaume Ziegler. So now, the dishes since that time are there. So you see, at the beginning, it was very strange. This one was done at the Cordon Bleu under the supervision of Patrick Terrien. It was the first meal that was note by note. Here it is. Here it is. Sometimes they put a mushroom. I was very angry because of the mushroom. But you know, remember, it was the beginning of the thing. No, when we began, I got letters threatening me from death because people were angry at that. And even if I'm right, some years ago at FIBDES, some students were reluctant to participate to this enterprise. But this is innovation. There is no obligation to cook that daily, but we need to understand what it means. So for students, I would say that it is very important. Now, some other dishes under the supervision of Patrick. An asparagus. I was hungry again. Basil. I was hungry again because basil is toxic. Raspberry. I was hungry again. This one was wonderful. This one as well. This one as well. The chef Bernardet and the chef Jean-François de Guigné, very good pastry chef. And we had the International Year of Chemistry, the big catering company, Potel et Chabot, had these dishes. Voller sauce. On the left, note by note meat. On the right, real meat, the ugly real meat, and the dessert. Cordon Bleu again, another year. The dish, the name was "This is not an egg," and it was not an egg. The next one, very, very good result. Wonderful dessert, full of layers, crisp, soft, tender, sweet, acidic, very, very. By Guigné, probably, Jean-François Guigné. The Toque Blanche International, so Jean-Pierre Lepelletier is a former president of the Toque Blanche International Club. So they are important chef. This is what they did at the beginning. They had a cocktail, many people, so they played with different things. So Montreal, so many, this one by students of the Culinary School of Montreal, Canada. Again, the Cordon Bleu, Jean-Pierre and his team organized a banquet here at AgroParisTech. Here it is. By the way, this is not chicken. Only the bone is real. Probably the bone was real. It was not fake. Real. Flambing oranges. They were not orange. Back to the Cordon Bleu again. Okay. So you see a lot of has been added. Where do you find the ingredients? By fractionation of plant tissue, for example, because they are sustainable. My dream is that it is done at the farm by all farmers because they would sell these products. We have to enrich the farmer because they are responsible for environment and food security. Food security means enough to eat. Food safety means safe. Okay, so there is a difference. And finally, the question of consistency, I skip that because we had machines to make it, so I will skip that. So let's go to the end. The end is a question. Do we want to change really? Probably the public said no. They want the steak, they want the chicken, they want the... I don't care because first, I'm not selling anything. I don't get anything promoting not by not cooking. So generally, my question to my friends is, why do you think that I'm promoting it? That I'm taking so much energy and so much time to promote it? And I don't answer this question. They have to answer. And the answer is probably that in 2050, there will be 10 billion people on the earth. We can feed 7 billion. So how are you going to eat in 2050? I will be dead. So again, I don't care. But you will be there. What are you going to eat? And indeed, in fitness, you are responsible for food security. And one key solution is about 1/3 of what is produced is spoiled. So if we reduce the spoilage or waste, then we can move from 7 to 9 billion people that we feed. So you see, there is, in order to avoid spoilage, we have to avoid transporting fresh tissue. You see, a tomato is 80% water. So when we have a truck full of tomato, you transport water, which is crazy because this water has been produced in Spain and coming to Paris. And there are 10,000 trucks every morning coming to Paris full of water. So this is completely silly. So we have to, and this water, the tomato, spoiled during the transportation. And you have to have the fridge, and the fridge costs a lot of energy. So it is not sustainable. So we have to change the way people are. And in order to change, first of all, between 0 and 20, they are at school, so you can teach them at school. They are trapped. And then later, I do what Parmentier did. Parmentier introduced potato in France. Nobody wanted the potato, so he gave the potato to the king. There are guards in front of the field of potato, and the French public wanted to steal the potato because the public was starving. So this is the main solution here at school. And at school, I'm happy to tell you that with children, we made more than 30 liters of whipped egg white from one egg with children. So you see, the future is brilliant. The sky is blue because the children are educated at school and we can tell them. So now we should never forget the goal. Cooking is love, art, and technique. Love, technique is easy. Whipping an egg, or technique is easy. For example, if you want to make a salad, okay, you take a pan, you take some liquid, generally sweet, but it could be salty as well. And now you need a glove, you need glasses, and it will be very easy because you want to freeze it. Yesterday, someone probably Aswin discussed at Agenda. So, you know, when you freeze slowly, you get granite, so big crystals. So in order to have a smooth texture, you should freeze rapidly. Liquid nitrogen, the temperature is minus 196 Celsius. So it will be faster than the fridge. Okay, so you just need to put some. We have to open the door because it will evaporate. There will be some nitrogen, and this nitrogen should evaporate. So you know it's so easy, and the sherbet is already made. So, the problem is when it is wet in the air, we have a lot of smoke. So. Okay. One should have gloves because, of course, if I touch here, it's because it's the conductor, it will be minus 196, okay? I think so, we should not drink eat it when they are bubble, because if they are bubble, it means that it is liquid evaporating, so the temperature is minus 196. In order to get the foaming, you have to take your spoon to put the solid over the liquid. Ah, okay. Okay, now. And you know, this is only the technical part, because in order to make it, we need an artist to have the right taste. So I need slightly more, okay, slightly more. The recipe is of 1 liter of orange juice or anything. You need 1.5 liter of liquid nitrogen. And very good. Okay, and now while I'm finishing, we will distribute it later. But Rochelle, perhaps you can begin. You have to take. No, I will have to help you. Voilà, que vous avez grand. Alors, il faut le travailler un peu.
Un mixeur.
Ah, ouais.
Un mixeur plongeant.
What is this? It's here. It's here. No, this one I should close. So the contest is done. And now yours is. This one I should close as well. Not enregistré. Et your PowerPoint is there. What is it? This one? And you have the microphone. And you know. Okay. By the way, when Rochelle is preparing, you see, you don't close the vessel because it's still evaporating. And if you close it, there will be pressure. And if there is too much pressure, it will be an explosion. Why the glasses? Because there are some droplets when you malax it, and you should not have one in your eyes, otherwise it's frozen and you become blind. The gloves are less important, I would say, but you know, being frozen.
That's okay.
No, but when you have, no, it's not so important when you open the fingers and you have no ring, because you know, droplets under the oil.
Okay, well.
I put too much, so we have to wait for some seconds. Right?
Okay, while we're waiting, just this is particularly for the new cohort 14 starting in Dublin in January. And if we can have advice from cohort 13 who've gone through this module in Dublin. So you'll be doing a module in advanced molecular gastronomy. So we'll be using some of these techniques. Just to say, is Aswin or any of these students here? No, these are from cohort 12 who are graduating today. Just to say, these are the topics we cover in Dublin. So we cover gelling, emulsions, precisions, which are testing recipes to see if we can improve on the recipe. So just keep this in your mind for those who are coming to Dublin. Foams, heat transfer using sous vide cooking, freezing, and 3D food printing, and a note-by-note project. Okay, so what we normally do is a 1 hour class, and then we go to the kitchen. So we might have presentations on gelling, and then we go to the kitchen and we make some recipes with gelling, like agar spaghetti, or can you remember what we were doing? Champagne spheres and so on. Okay, so for emulsions, let's see, we try to use our knowledge about emulsions and make plant-based versions instead of egg-based versions. Okay, So they're the type of things we'd be doing. We also do foams and cocktails, and they're using a fish pump here today. We use the fish pump, and we also use the siphon as well. So we do kind of a mixture, I suppose, in the first few weeks of molecular cooking and molecular cuisine. Precisions are, as I said, where you take a recipe, maybe there's 3 versions of a particular recipe, and you make the 3 versions and you see which is the best and why is it the best. Am I right there? Is that what we did? Yeah, so you can pick a recipe yourself, but it has to be doable in a 3-hour class. Okay, but we'll explain all that for before you start doing any of these. So we use sous vide cooking then for looking at the effect of cooking in the water bath and how that gives really lovely texture, keeps the nutritional composition and the colour of the food. Really superior form of cooking, in my opinion. And you might think it's very elite, but you can buy the equipment in the supermarket. I bought stuff in the little supermarket. You can buy packaging machines. Okay. Freezing. Last year, for some reason, we didn't get to do freezing. I don't know why, but this year we should be okay. And you see, we were making ice creams, and so Hervé's gone out of the room. Is it nicer than that? Okay, so don't tell him I said that. Yeah, we were making, so we'd put maybe some like a liqueur in the middle and the ice cream on the outside, and then the liqueur freezes at a different temperature, so it starts melting quicker than the outside. So we just do these type of things, and then so I just want you to know, in for cohort 14, we were a bit pressed for time last year, but we have 2 3D food printers. So you can use these for your note by note project, if you like. Last year with another group, we did 4D printing. We did a 4D printing project. So what we did is we made a gel from purple cabbage and 3D printed it in the shape of a feather. And then we sprayed some lemon juice and a vodka cocktail on it, and it changed to a red color. And that's, so the change in over time is the 4th dimension. Okay. So please open your mind to innovation, creativity. That's what we're trying to do here in this module, and think outside the box of new things that haven't been existing before. Now, we're lucky today to have Dow and Pascal here, and they have a company where they make the flavour compounds in the blue bottles. So we have these in Dublin and TU Dublin. They're individual compounds, one single flavour compound. And so they give like pineapple flavour, popcorn, etc. For the ingredients, we have a big storeroom, and we have all these type of ingredients available. All right, so you need to tell us in advance what ingredients, and we'll try and get them. We can't always get everything, but we have a lot. So we have Louis Francois as well. So don't worry about that. Okay, now we don't have a theme yet for next year, but we will have one soon, and we'll let you know. And I want you to start thinking about your dish. This is cohort 14 for next year. Okay. We also have this equipment, and again, we for some reason didn't get to use, but I would really like if we could use it in January onwards. So we have a centrifuge rotary evaporator that we can use in the kitchen as well. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's So what you'll be doing is in the last 4 weeks, or you'll be doing a project, okay? We're gonna hear some examples of those projects this morning. So we have Agati from cohort 13 is gonna, so she's gonna tell you about what she did in Dublin. And then online, we have some students from the Masters in Culinary Innovation and Food Product Development from TU Dublin. And they'll tell you, they also did this module, and they'll tell you about their dishes. So I really want you to focus on like the ingredients, the techniques, the ideas that they had, okay? So you have a really good opportunity this morning to tune into that. Okay, so that's me. I was told to be quick, so. Honey, have you got questions? Okay.
Okay, let's go. So we have to begin, I hope. What is the order? Who is ready? Mehdi, would you begin? Oh, no, you're eating your ice cream, so we should have some. No, I say Mehdi is the first name. I don't know this guy. I met him for the first time, but I made a confusion with the chef from the Toque Blanche. So yeah, I sent an email with Mehdi. You have a Mehdi, the Toque Blanche? Mehdi, yeah, Mehdi. This is why. Who is online, please? Do we have someone online? One of the Sarah Vanan, are you there?
Yes.
But we don't have any sound. I should have put sound this way. Why is the sound cut? I don't know. We don't hear anything.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
There is only one question about the sound.
There he is.
Yeah, you are. Hello, but we don't hear you. Here it is. The sound. No, it's not the sound. It's the sound is here. The sound should be all right. Here. Even here.
Hi.
Perhaps. Otherwise, I put that on another computer. Désactivé. The problem is that it's probably somewhere.
It's on the wall.
On the wall, perhaps. Or perhaps maybe if you can begin when I go to look for the people. Yes. There will be two categories, by the way. There is a category with students, because you were helped by Roshin and by Pauline Danaguer, probably. And maybe work alone. He belongs to the public, let's say, and he work alone. So we have to make two categories, different categories. He will be alone in this category, so you can even now upload him because he's a winner. By the way, it reminds me when I was a student, I was making a competition in halterophilia. And you see the Paris champion halterophilia for middleweight, but I was alone. Somebody, here is your PowerPoint here, and I will look for the people. So, Saravan, I'm looking to fix the question of the sound, but in the meantime, Mehdi Cronier will begin. So here it is for Mehdi. It's on top. Which PowerPoint is it?
Mine is, oh my God.
This one. Okay. So you come here. The floor is yours. If you will finish your ice cream later. There is some more if you need. You have, let's say, you do 10 minutes and we have questions. That's better. 10 minutes with questions for the jury. And you play with that, you know what to do.
Just one thing.
Okay, and I go for help.
What if instead of starting with ingredients to make the flavors, we started with the flavors to make the ingredients? For age, cooking was already with the ingredients. A great chef didn't invent flavors, they just knew how to handle what nature gives them. Think about household cookings. You find down the best looking carrots, the fresh fish you can find, or the perfectly ripe pieces of fruit. Flavors was nature gifts on the chefs. Just a skilled interpreter playing tunes that was already white and true natures. Look around. Technology is already making us create things straight for our imaginations. Like sense doesn't exist in nature, or AI would totally change the game for creators. And now it's reached a hot cuisine of motivated cooks. Think about it. Our grandparents cook with what they found. We cook with what we have. And the next steps, we cook what we imagine. So what if we could finally break free from the limit in the ingredients and create the exact dish in our minds? So what's the big change? Simple. Traditional cooking was for the ingredients to ID. This new way flips. We start with the ID and then create the ingredient to match it. Think about it. It's making the taste of case. Until ways it's almost impossible. So with this new approach, we start with a feeling on infinity and then invent the ingredients that deliver it. Finally, the ingredient is no longer the boss. It becomes a tool you use to bring any flavor you can imagine to life, creating the sensory experience of the futures. This is my dish. When I imagine my dish, I started with the questions, what if I could recreate the taste of space? It's not about being literal, it's about more my vision of space, lightness, mysteries, unknown, and the endlessness. Visually, I wanted something unexpected, not very impressive plates. And for the taste, of course, it has to be good. I mean, a different consistency like a life form, a soft biscuits, and a fluid gels. The goal is to create a three-part journey for the person eating it. First, you see the surprise of the plates. The discovery of these flavors. And finally, the appreciation of the future and the entire experience. On m'entendait pas?
But in the Zoom, you know,
Ah,
you have a-
it's a shame.
Sarah, madam, can you speak, please?
Hi, can you hear me now?
We don't hear you.
Hi, can you hear me now? Hello.
We don't hear you.
Hello.
Louder.
You have to speak from
You know,
heart.
il essaie avec sa pointe pour que vous stopping in the middle of it.
Exactly, right.
Hello.
Yes, he can hear us. Nous entend. Ah, we see that. Mais can you speak, Sarah Madame? Can you speak?
Hello.
You speak?
I think rest people online can hear me.
Moi j'ai les micros qui sont fermés là. Ils ont les micros qui sont fermés.
Ah, your microphone is closed.
Sorry.
Oh, Liam, can you try to speak opening your microphone?
Hello.
You speak?
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me now?
You need to use my computer for the sound of the back.
C'est comme ça. S'ils peuvent parler.
On est à la pointe de la technologie ici.
Faudrait qu'ils parlent. On va voir.
This is the lesson for the student. You know, I was here at 7 o'clock. I was sitting everything. He helped me. So everything was ready except that finally that one. So, and it is, we have also the obligation of result of being. For this kind of thing, we have the obligation of result. So we should do something. So in the meantime, because, no, I have something. No. So I try to admire.
Faudrait qu'ils parlent pour que je puisse voir.
Can you speak, please, Sarah?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes. Oh.
Thank you.
Et là, je vais changer comme ça.
We are safe.
J'ai du son sur le parleur, mais j'ai pas de son qui ressort.
Oh, c'est déjà pas mal.
Qui ressort ici.
On va mettre le micro sur le parleur.
C'est pas logique. Ouais, sinon je vais vous laisser comme ça. Mais...
Sarah Badan, can you please speak again?
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Okay, if it's not very strong, but we will do our best later.
I hope everyone can hear me now.
Yeah, that's better.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I will finish this part. Yes. We have the next slide. So we can continue.
Yeah. Please.
So this is a recipe. So let's be specific. I use sweeteners to replace sugars, as this is aligned with the challenge of tomorrow, overweight, addictions, and over consumptions. And to recreate the syrup appearance of the sugars, I use hyaluronic acid. It's very effective for trapping water's molecules, no taste sugars, and cost effective. And this strange mysterious flavors I use is comes from some mixing different compounds flavors together. I wanted to create something what I imagine that if you could like bite into a piece of meteor or a chunk of planets. And these names, it's the name of my dish, they aren't randoms. They tell you a story and preparing you to unstoring tasting experience even before you take the first bite. Look at the logic. Yes, you can. It's a double brush, I think. Look at the logic. You see an étoile make you think of the fine softy powders you take first. Éclat de comète hint at those surprising crunchy bits. And Santa Éclairate tell you more about the intercores that burst you in your mouth. And nail proofs that mysterious aftertaste that stick in your mouth after. But here's the keys. Each name completely breaks your normal expectations. When you hear these words, your brain has no clue which taste to expect. And that's exactly what I wanted going for. I want to discover something new, not just to recognize something familiar. And finally, the picture of my dish. Don't think I would use names like to express something like tomato, mozzarella, or menu. The difference is that it always say, from the obvious to the scientific. The color screams outer space. black void, pink, on purple galaxies, and even dark meteor chunks. You're just sitting there seeking what could these possibilities like. But that first bite it was get you. You think you know what it is, but the taste is completely unawaited. The texture familiar, but the flavor totally new. And that's why I want pure discovery. Hitting becomes an adventure. And for my conclusions, beyond the personal challenge, this project demonstrates something essential. Non-binary cooking offers total creative freedoms on never-ending discoveries. The creative process has already opened up new perspectives for development, integrating true components to enrich the sensory experience, replacing cocoa butters with fatty acid, and finally adding my teenagery Avengers sorbet to perfect the balance. And this is just the start. There is no limit we can go with this. For my projection, I hope this approach inspires chefs to create dishes you can just make with traditional cookings. Imaginary things like mountains, coral reefs, or magic. We can now create an influential experience. Cooks are evolving into experienced designers capable of materializing concepts on a plate. And I hope that in the future, while I open a cookbook, I will no longer see just a list of recipes, but more a book of ideas and concepts. And this was my slide. Thank you for your attention. Mon accent, il est...
Même en résumé notre idée des régler sur le lycée, donc, l'idée de régler la question, il y a six de voir pourquoi on est plus dans la règle. Ici, pour les remarquer l'autre. Guillaume,
c'est une très jolie peinture. I will try. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. It's really beautiful. And I absolutely believe that actually you are talking about over there, but actually express yourself into the dish. And
yes.
We can feel lots of sensitivity. And what I really appreciate is that when we talk about art, about techniques, about love passion, it's exactly what was inside. So it's a really, really nice dish that actually I would like to taste it. I'm really curious about it, but it's a really nice job. Well, let's see, but it was I think it's pretty remarkable.
By the way, sorry, I don't get some people can you give us something to say about the texture part because it is your job.
Not so much to add. I think the H&E itself was really interesting. The looks of the soup was very nice.
I can show you more.
And the texture, I like that there was a lot of different textures.
But are you convinced that the quantity of the proportion of the mix of some
agents as well?
By the way, as you look further, the fact that you look further, that doesn't mean anything. For example, if you bake, that's there. You take some powder, egg white powder. You take egg white powder, and you need that not exist for one sentence because you know that there are solutions for it. It's not as easy. But anyway, at two François, you take 1 spoon of egg white powder and 5 spoons of water. You put that in a glass, microwave, and you get something out. On the contrary, in Argentina, I asked for a lecture for egg white powder. I got some. I made a second never cooked. Because indeed it was probably pre-cooked egg that was put into a powder. So there are different brands. And the same with alginate. At the beginning of molecular cuisine or cooking, you could buy some products at François, at Calvis and many companies. You can trust me that they were not being the same. So the quality is not having a name. The quality is important. And I know some producers that add some excipient in it. So the active principle is dissolved you can dissolve the powder with nothing, with starch, with flour. So this is the topic, right? So, okay. Pasquale, any, or Dao, any question? The compliment should be later, probably.
Where did you get your product from?
Internet. Different brands, but yes, internet in general. Yeah, the acid hyaluronic was hard to find, but I found a brand, he sells the powder, so yes. I now have a professional kitchen, so in my home.
Yeah.
Just where did you get the idea for your dish? What is-
The space, because the whole team of the international cooking was based on area existing, and the idea of space is the challenge of tomorrow, the exploration of the space in general. I think it was a good teams for the futures.
Remember that we announced 1 year ago about
Please,
food,
yeah.
so.
That's right. Okay.
Anyway, okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
I get it.
Je vous laisse.
Can you be the last one? No, because we have to make it safe. You are here, so we are up, but the others are not. Sarah Vanan, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, I will display, or you share as you want.
I prefer to share.
I prefer to share. So I am, here it is. You're allowed to share now.
Thank you.
Where are you, by the way?
I'm from Dublin.
Ah, you're in Dublin. Well, but
Yes.
don't know, huh? It's coming. Yeah, very good.
Can you see?
Yes,
thank
we
you.
do. We do very well. Oh my God, for CC fillet. Okay?
Yes.
Up
Can
to
I?
you. Up to
Can I
you now.
start?
Sorry? It's all right. You can begin.
Yeah. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. All of you know my name by now. Thanks to Hervé. Once again, my name is Saravanan Saprakasam, and I am presenting my node by node dish for competition. The dish named Oh My God 4cc fillet. Explanation word of Oh My God refer to the traditional Atlantic whitefish. 4cc fillet refers to anticipating or predicting the future of allergen-free seafood fillet, which means no fish, no gluten, no dairy, no egg, and 100% plant-based. What does food for the future mean to me? Food for the future need futuristic food system. The food system which can be resilient, withstand and adapting to climate change, and economic instability, natural disorders like pandemics. Meantime, maintaining essential functions like continuous supply of safe nutrition and long-term sustainability. That's for the future generation. Past few decades of so-called development, world pushing nearly 700 millions of people to suffer in hunger. Few million suffer in nutrition deficiency. Moreover, growing number of population questioning future existence of human on this planet. Resilient food system need resilient food ingredients. It will be uninteresting to reproduce already existing food ingredients for the new food for the future. So finding new ingredients was challenging, so I decided to research on finding an adaptive alternative protein for future. Let's see the alternative protein sources that are trending in Europe. Plant-based meat from vegetable and pulses, cultured or lab-grown meat, precision fermentation, edible insect, algae. My choice is algae. And why? There are two types of microalgae. There are two types of algae in the world. In particular, there are macroalgae. Macroalgae are seaweed widely used in sushi, salad, and soup. They are named as nori wangame. Everyone knows about it. The second one is a microalgae. I took microalgae in my dish. Microalgae, there are two types, which is majorly approved in Europe. Those names are spirulina and chlorella. These two are the super food for the future. Unimaginable amount of protein, which is 60 to 70%. Chlorella has nearly double the amount of protein compared to chicken and other meat. Chlorella can grow very fast and efficient, and can cultivate it in unsuitable for traditional agriculture. It can help to produce a landless food source, and it can adapt and thrives in any environmental. Yes, it can grow in space too. It is one of the most promising biological system for long-term space mission. Okay, overall the result is clear. These alternative proteins, especially algae, offer long-term sustainability. They are renewable, nutrition dense, and allergen free. In short term, alternative protein sources are not just a trend, but is a necessity to build a resilient food system, sustainable food for the future. And my choice is white chlorella vulgaris. This microalgae I choose is because it has a green microalgae contains several valuable bioactive components, including protein, lipid, carbohydrates, vitamins, and polyphenol. Why I choose white chlorophyll? Chlorophyll-free chlorella. The unpleasant mouthfeel and taste of the algae chlorophyll is not letting the chef to increase the quantity or volume of these particular ingredients in their dishes. Even though it has a high nutrition, it's not letting us to consume more than amount what we need for the recipe. But this white chlorella is neutral in flavor and adaptive, enabling molecular transformation that replicate the flaky texture and umami flavor profile of the white fish fillet like a cod. Chlorella is a single cell microorganism which is not considered as a pure ingredient but can consider as organic compound molecules, which is perfect fit for note by note cuisine. Note by note cooking allows us to move beyond. This is more than cooking. It is science and creativity working together to compose food for the future with futuristic ingredients. How I composed my note by note dish. The concept of the dish was inspired by baked cod with gremolata sauce. That's a traditional dish. I got inspired from there. Now the fish. Fish known for their rich nutritional composition containing approximately 70 to 80% of the water, 15 to 24% of the protein, and the rest fat, minerals, and vitamins. Considering all these things, multi-layered hydrochloride recipe calculation was made to produce my dish. The dish was specifically designed as a free from all major food allergen, which ensure no compromise on its nutritional value and sensory attribute. Producing hot food 75 degrees Celsius using hydrochloride presently significantly challenged, but extensive trial and test were conducted over 4 weeks period in TU Dublin kitchen. Here the illustration of the final dish. The dish containing both organic and synthetic compounds composed with just right amount of carbohydrate, protein, lipids, vitamins, minerals, and fibers. And it has 5 elements is mentioned in this illustrated drawing, and you could see that is chlorella is the first one is a chlorella fillet, that's the core of the dish, and methyl cellulose C fillet, and then it has a potato bread, and it has a curry skin and cheese dust is all kept on top of the tomato basil sauce. Material and method. Multi-layer and complex matrix of recipe is not allowing me to share the whole recipe, but I have come up with the idea of classification of ingredients that I used in this recipe. I classified as a carbohydrate and hydrochloride, salt and pure components used, and aromas, and then some special ingredients like citric acid, tomato powder, nutritional yeast, flaxseed oil, and then plenty of water. The method, as you all could see, as you all can follow me with these pictures, I can easily describe.
Il y a un concours,
Yeah, the first step is to make a
il y a un
chlorella.
concours de cuisine.
Sorry, I'm interrupting with someone else's voice.
Pardon, il y a quelqu'un qui parle en français. Vous pouvez éteindre vos micros, s'il vous plaît, à part la personne qui présente. Merci.
À Paris. Ah.
Éteignez les micros, s'il vous plaît. À part Sarah Van. Merci. Sarah Van, can you go on?
Thank you. Yes, the
Sorry.
first step is to make chlorella flakes. The first step is to make a chlorella flakes. I named the process flakification. It's nothing but gelation of alginate and calcium bath, opposite to spherification. Here the core of the flakes is completely cooked in calcium bath until it's form an uneven flake brittle texture as shown in the picture. The second element of the dish is methyl cellulose C fillet. I use guar and methyl cellulose emulsion mixed with the chlorella flakes and steam baked in the combi oven. Guar viscosity high in cold and low in hot. That's helped me to achieve the combination of flaky fillet. Methyl cellulose is a tasteless powder, film forming, adhesive, help to retain the shape when heated. Methyl cellulose hot stable gel when heated up to 50 to 90 degrees Celsius. And the whole fillet is kept on top of the tomato sauce that's made of the pure tomato powder and then chili oil. And the pictures show the hot chlorella methyl cellulose fillet kept on top of the tomato sauce on the right hand side. The method of the second slide. Here I have produced the breadcrumbs made from the pectin and maltodextrin for the crispiness, and the nutritional yeast was used as a seasoning, and I named here as a cheese dust, which release the aroma and help me to increase the sensory attribute. And the chili oil and the curry skin is a perfect balance of the dish and the flavor. Each element was designed to contribute to the different texture and flavor dimension. Here the final presentation of the node by node cooking Oh My God 4cc fillet on your right hand side. Multisensory analysis. The table shows the result of sensory analysis, feedback and self-analysis help me to develop the dish over the period of 2 months in the lab. Multi attributes like appearance, odors, taste and texture considered and discussed for continuous development to achieve the final dish. Colleagues' feedbacks were really helped me. It was impossible for me to guess the taste after tasting the strong, pure compounds at the preparation stage. Here the slide for the continuous process from the day 1, day 2, day 3 and day 4. The day 1 I have made the fillet in a different elements like agar-agar fillet and alginate fillet, and then I worked on a glue and adhesive. The taste was not good at all and it was so gluey. Then I started working on unpleasant flavor. Then I come up with the new ingredients, white chlorella. Then the day 2 got improved with another elements which is added. The bread textures is improved, and then the chili oil added in the recipe. And then I used the caviar box to make flakes. And then I added the cheese flavor and then curry flavor to it. And I try to make the dish more complex, that which can represent the natural food content and which is the memory for every human being. So I add up one by one, so at the end that we got all the components has desirable texture and then sensory property. And the nutritional analysis of the dish I have attached here. It's not really accurate, but it's helped me to calculate how it can go in the future, because most of the fuel components is not in the database to extract their nutritional value exactly. And here the conclusion of my research and my dish. The final dish successfully recreated the flaky texture of the cod while maintaining the allergen-free foundation. It's offered the multi-layer sensory profile, flaky fillet, silky sauce, crispy crackers, and chewy skin. Visually, it's displayed a vibrant pattern of red, green, white, yellow, and golden brown. Nutritionally, it's rich as well. It has omega-3 and all other vitamins and iron. In conclusion, Oh My God fillet show how node by node cuisine can provide sustainable nutrition and innovative dishes. It's provide that we can meet global food challenge while offering a dish that delicious, visually appealing and health conscious, This is my contribution to the theme of Food for the Future. Thank you. And I would like to thanks to Dr. Rosin and Pauline Donager and International Center of Molecular Gastronomy. Any question?
Do you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
I want to make 3 comments. First of all, you said that there is a mix of science and cooking, which is not true. Science is in the lab, cooking is in the kitchen. There is no science in the kitchen. Science can be useful to go in the kitchen and to do something different, but there will never be science mixed with cooking. Never. It's impossible because it's not the same goal. Science has to produce knowledge, cooking has to produce food, you see? So, but you can have application of science, which is something slightly different. Now,
Okay.
the second one, you're very brave because you use methyl cellulose. You know, at that time, people speak of ultra-processed food, which is crazy. It's crazy because there was a big survey among food technologists and scientists in France. 10 or 13,000 people were asked to the survey to be able to rank the food between the category of Nova. Nova was people Brazil proposing a category that was Nova for ultra processed. Ultra processed is the category number 4. And indeed, it was demonstrated experimentally that the specialists cannot rank correctly what is an ultra processed. So we should say so-called ultra processed food. And I would add so-called by strange people ultra processed food. And I will not trust them because it's ideology. By the way, glucose is an additive. So, and glucose, you have that in carrots. So of course, we should reduce the sugar, but we all know that we should reduce the sugar, the salt, the fat, the alcohol, and don't smoke. Otherwise, we don't care. And when you go in the streets, you see people having barbecue all summer long with carcinogenic benzopyrenes. They go at McDonald's, so they have French fries full of fat, of heated fat, and so on. So this is why I'm not going to study much nutrition and toxicology, because the public is doing the contrary of what he says. He wants to say, I want healthy food, and he does the reverse. First, but people die from smoking and drinking alcohol. This is the main point. So, and the third comment is, now a funny story about Jean-Pierre Lepelletier, because Jean-Pierre Lepelletier introduced Not by Not Cooking a long time ago with the chef of the association. It was very funny because for Sarah Vadan, as for me, when we are doing a dish, we are first building the consistency. And when the structure is there, we add the color, we add the odor, we add the taste. The chef do very differently. I remember it was an atelier in the evening, and one chef took the products, made a mini baguette, put that in the oven, and you see the reasoning was to make a mini baguette. It was not the rational steps that I was proposing. And indeed, the mini baguette were very good. So, any questions, not compliments, please. Patrick, do you have questions?
C'est exceptionnel d'avoir un plat salé d'abord.
Ah, exceptionnel d'avoir un plat salé.
C'est difficile d'avoir.
No, you speak in French. It is very, very good to have a dish that is not a dessert. Very frequently, it's easy to have some sugar. Yes. Yeah, okay.
Là, c'est quand même une approche très
difficile.
difficile.
A difficult approach. Okay. Okay, beautiful. No compliments, questions.
Les mélanges, tout ça, c'est très intéressant. J'aimerais bien savoir.
Oh, you would like to taste.
Voilà.
Okay. What is the taste? It's hot. Is it hot?
Servi chaud. Hein.
It's hot. It serves us above 65 degrees Celsius. It's hot.
Okay.
The methyl cellulose can only.
What about the flavor? What do we perceive?
In
terms of flavor, not of consistencies.
In terms of flavor, it tastes like sea. I could say it tastes like a fish because the chlorella itself, it has the own taste.
Ah oui.
Of
les petites algues donnent un goût de
fish.
poisson.
Parce que je vois dans la composition, il y avait de la viande.
Did you put meat in your product?
No.
Non.
Non?
Non, c'était des algues, tu sais, des micro-algues.
Chicken.
chicken?
No,
No.
it's completely
Chickpea,
plant-based.
Alright.
I can share the ingredients.
Quoi ça? Beef. C'est quoi ça?
Chicken, yes. Beef. Beef.
Non, il n'y a pas de beef.
I know it's a table of just. No, probably it's a comparison. No, there is no chicken. C'est un goût d'algue.
Ah oui, d'accord.
Algue.
Pas de beef.
Ouais, non, mais c'est une table de composition. Ouais.
D'accord.
Ouais. Guillaume, any question?
Ouais, yeah. What was the most difficult for you how did you find the right balance between the textures in this salty dish?
Can you repeat your question one more time? I can't hear you
What was the
properly.
most difficult? What kind of difficulties did you meet when you have created this dish?
Yes, for me, the first difficult part is to get the core right. I mean, the center of the dish, the steamed fillet. So first, I tasted only the chlorella as a fillet. You could see in my presentation that in the progress. So the fillet didn't taste well, and moreover, it's not pleasant to eat. So then I decided to work on the fillet. So then I came up with the two combination. One is methyl cellulose, which heat stable, and second I came up with the more nutritional content like white chlorella into the recipes. So when I added these two and I steamed it, and it's become very airy and light baked things. So when I break this, the flakes fall apart, and over the time period when the dish is cooled down, and it's easy to melt, and then it's easy to mix with the sauce, and it can spread in your mouth immediately and give you the full taste of it.
Okay. Kelly, any questions?
In your potato bread crackers, why do you use pectin inside?
Because I don't want the things to be baked too much, so I want to bake it very light and still has little bit of flexible taste, like not completely crunchy.
Okay.
Because my idea was to represent the fish skin, so
Okay.
that's why.
Thank you.
No?
Thank you.
Okay. No?
No question.
No. Okay. So thank you very much. We need now to have
Thank you.
probably Liam, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarvan. Keep online.
Sure.
You have to unshare. You have to unshare, please, so that Liam can share.
Yeah.
Liam, are you here?
Yep. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we do, but we don't have the presentation because we have Sarah Van Ans. Okay, so now perhaps this will come. Here we see it. It's green. There is a bulb.
Yep. Super.
Can you put it full screen or something?
Yeah. Hold on.
Where are you?
Oh, hold on.
No, this is Sarah Banan. Sarah Banan, can you please? No, we have the picture by Sarah Banan.
Oh yeah, stop sharing.
I will stop sharing. Okay. Okay, stop sharing. Okay. Stop sharing. Okay. Now, Liam, you can share. Okay, we see your PowerPoint. Well, it's not full. Okay, now it's. Where are you now?
Hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me all right?
where are you? Are you in Paris? Are you in Berlin? Are you in Tokyo?
Dublin. Dublin, Ireland.
Dublin. Again in Dublin. Okay. So
Yes.
the Irish people community is well represented. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So my proposal is you go fast, about 10 minutes, so that we have time for questions. Okay.
Super. No problem.
Okay.
All right. I'll start. So, good morning, everyone. So, as I said, my name is Liam Birds. Today I'll be presenting my dish that was created through Note by Note Cooking, and the theme of it was the food of the future. So this was done in, as mentioned, in Dublin, Technological University of Dublin. So yeah, we'll just get straight into it. So a bit about the research that was done behind it. So that kind of came where the idea came from. So the future of the food will be tested by the demands and challenges of the international population growth. According to the United Nations, the population is expected to rise to 9.8 billion in 2050 and 11.2 billion in 2100. The United Nations have also stated the following. In Europe, 25% of the population is already aged. Oops, sorry there. Just jumped back there. Sorry about that. Okay. So in Europe, 25% of the population is already aged 60 years or over. That population is projected to reach 35% in 2050 and to remain around that level in the second half of the century. Populations in other regions are also projected to age significantly over the next several decades and continue right through to 2100. The rise in the elderly population, which is significant influences on the global population, is mainly due to the advances in safety measures, healthcare, and technology. This study aimed to focus on a key area of developments needed to address challenges associated with the growing aging population. One of these demands is the socio-economic need for the development of food for people who are diagnosed with a diet-limited age-related condition. So what was this product that was developed through Note by Note Cooking? Well, it was a sandwich, but it was not just any sandwich. It was a Note by Note BLT sandwich that is suitable to be consumed by someone that is diagnosed with dysphagia, level 4 dysphagia. So that would be a puree. So just a bit of information about what is dysphagia. Dysphagia is a clinical term used to describe challenges in swallowing, and it can affect any age group from young babies right through to the elderly. Dysphagia can impact the overall well-being of a person, as it might hinder their ability to enjoy the meal and participate in social events. So what we did here was we took a BLT, the textures and we took away the textures and made sure it was compliant with the ITSE standards. And we used the Note by Note method of just using compounds to manipulate it to be a textured modified product. So I followed the guidelines, the ITSE guidelines, which is the International Dysphagia Diet Standard Initiative. So this is a globally recognized standard for determining what texture you want and what that suits the prescribed person. So we focus on level 4 because that suits the most amount of people that are diagnosed with dysphagia. So that was why we chose that. So why is Note by Note Cooking a beneficial way of producing dysphagia foods? Basically, the reason why I chose this is it's consistent. We can consist a product that is very safe. We can create a recipe that is tailored to the person that is eating this product. So, you know, if someone that is elderly, they might not be able to consume certain products or foods. So we can manipulate the compounds in using what we want just for that dish. So it's safe. And also it eliminates the risk of choking, because obviously when you use like normal foods, like, you know, you use like pasta and you want to blend it to make like a pasta puree and you do bolognese with it. There's obviously a lot of risk with the chances of choking. You have to pass all your purees, and you know there's a lot of gray areas, you know. So this way of cooking is very consistent and it's very accurate. Okay, so what was my aim and objectives? So the aim, sorry there, I'll just move that out of the way. So basically the aim was to develop an ITSE level 4 dysphagia sandwich that has the flavors of a BLT. And it should be able to be consumed by someone who is diagnosed level 4. The flavors that we went for was BLT, and it was very important that that the product actually tasted very similar to a BLT sandwich. But the innovation of this product was that it was handheld. So this is an innovation that is not very well known in dysphagia cooking. The reason why we wanted to make it handheld is because when someone is diagnosed with dysphagia, they lose the ability to, you know, they can't pick up their food anymore because it's a puree. So I will go into how we achieved that objective, but yes, that was one of the objectives. So another one was so consumers. So basically we wanted to only use approved compounds, ensuring that the recommended intake is achieved and the product is non-toxic. So we wanted to conduct sensory tests to evaluate the product's acceptability and other sensory tests to evaluate the materials and methods. Okay, So I just have a picture there on the right. So it's a level 4 puree test. They call it the spoon and fork test. So it's basically how you test that it's compliant with the guidelines. So basically, if the puree you put onto the fork, it shouldn't pass through the prongs, and it shouldn't flow through them. And when you put it in a spoon, you should be able to just flick off the puree and it should come off easily. Okay. And then the picture below that is just examples of dysphagia dishes compared with like solid foods. So you have there at the top a chicken Kiev dinner, which we have quite regularly in Ireland. And then next to it would be a dysphagia version. So that would be all the products, all the foods that would be associated, but they would be pureed down and look similar to the original dish. Okay. So materials and methods. So these pictures are from kind of the development stage, kind of like working out the how it would look and stuff like that. So we did that picture there is from one I think that's from week 3. So we have like a bread puree, we have a lettuce puree, we have a tomato puree, and we have a bacon puree inside. So and it's only using compounds when possible. The lettuce puree there, that's showing just the spoon fork test. So a little tail just coming off through the fork is okay. That's fine, that passes the test. And then we set that in like little bunched up tin foil. So that gives the effect of a lettuce leaf. So that's great. So equipment's very, very straightforward with the equipment. I suppose like we needed a dehydrator for making the casing for the sandwich. And then we needed to freeze the product, freeze each layer so they would be very defined in the way they look. So you could clearly see what each layer was, and obviously weighing scales, and there's a few more equipment there. So just briefly go over the recipe. So as mentioned, we use compounds when possible. Obviously, sometimes we couldn't. We did the best we could. But basically we use protein, we use lactose powder, we used the flavor compounds as well. So we had grilled bread, that was for the bread layer, obviously, and Ultratex. So that was like basically that was what we used for thickening the puree. So we would get the puree and we would thicken it to the right viscosity. And basically the Ultratex was very good because it also kept it emulsified. So from the freezing and thawing aspect, that was very important. Because obviously if we create the puree and it passes, it also has to pass when it defrosts. And the Ultratex kept it emulsified as well, which was really, really great. So yeah, and then there's another recipe for the bacon that was used for the BLT. So we used smoke aroma, we used red food coloring with a bit of brown food coloring. So it kind of mimicked the look of bacon, and that was very important. And then obviously there was the method, so the layering method. So very similar. For the bread layer, we would just spread it in a sheet and then freeze it and cut it to what we wanted. And then for the different ones, like the tomato, we would have cut that with a ring. We would have, with the bacon, we would have like spread that on a tray with little bits of tin foil underneath it to create like a little crispy looking effect. And then obviously the lettuce puree, you saw that was done in with the tin foil cups, So how was the product made handheld? So this was a huge innovation, of huge achievements, I think, with this assignment. So basically, we made a translucent casing, a bioplastic. So this was made possible by implementing an edible translucent casing. The casing would not be consumed by the consumer with the dysphagia. The idea is to use the method so the dysphagia patient can pick up the products with an incision and squeeze the BLT puree out of the mouth. The recipe is there as well, and also this was huge innovation. Not just the fact that the patient can pick up their food, their sandwich like they used to, but also it's a safety aspect, because with dysphagia cold dishes, when you actually serve it to a patient, and if you leave it outside for too long, it can create a skin. So it kind of eliminates that, because the skin that you're creating on the outside, and if they were just to eat that with a fork, that's 2 textures. So when you have this casing outside of it, it protects it from developing that skin, so it's a greater little aspect. So this is the finished dish. So the development process. So the development of the dysphagia-friendly handheld sandwich was carried out over 4 weeks, with each trial addressing specific challenges and refining the product to meet the ITSE Level 4 standards. In the first week, the focus was on creating and standardizing a recipe to create the BLT sandwich, ensuring that all layers had the correct ITSE texture and viscosity. Throughout the trials, the recipe was developed and improved upon through observations made by the author himself and sensory panels. These developments included adjusting the ultratext percentage to improve the viscosity, reducing the tomato flavor as it was overpowering the dish, trialing different molding techniques, increasing dosages of flavor compounds to be reminiscent of the BLT sandwich flavor, sizes to improve the visual aspect, and improving the bread's appearance using brown coloring techniques. So that was that. So that was the development process. So the results, the sensory evaluation of the finished product. So we looked at visual, smell, texture, the acceptability, and the ease of consuming. So there's the results there. So BLT is visually representative of a BLT. Do you agree? So this was agreed. So that was very strong. The aroma, it was kind of neutral, which is understandable because it had a casing on the outside. The texture feels consistent throughout the dish. This was between strongly agree and agree, which is great. How easy is it to swallow the BLT? And this was very, very easy to slightly easy. So that was a great result. How would you rate the overall flavor of the BLT? Most people said good. How does the texture compare to your expectations of dysphagia-friendly foods? And neutral between better. This was just to gauge the perception. So the balance of the flavor and the bacon, was it satisfactory? And most people said yes. Does the BLT replicate the flavor profile of a traditional BLT? And most people agreed with that. Last two ones. So how likely are you to consume the BLT again? This was between likely and neutral. Overall, how acceptable do you find this dysphagia BLT? And most people said acceptable and very acceptable. So that was the finished product. So the BLT was just served on the plates, and just for the fun, we did a little garden salad next to it. So like little pea puree, little lettuce, bits of lettuce, bit of the bacon crushed up, and a bit of a tomato puree as well. And again, this was all using compounds, you know. So when I say like tomato puree, I used all the kind of what's associated with making that, you know. So my conclusion, so the final trial was a great success in terms of sensory evaluation and the product's properties as a handheld BLT sandwich. The sandwich contains an ITSE level 4 puree that delivered the flavor balance and taste of a classic BLT, as supported by the sensory results. The title of this assignment included the name of the prototype, reflecting a potential to further development. The nature of note-by-note cooking supports the potential as it opens a wide range of opportunities for innovating the product. For example, this method could provide great freedom to design tailored solutions. Although I do not specialize in this field, the primary aim of this project was achieved. Dysphagia is a complex condition requiring meals to be customized by patient-to-patient basis. While the ITSE framework is not without its limitations, it is established a universal language structure for addressing dysphagia-related dietary needs. The project aimed to develop a concept that could contribute to the future of food innovation. As outlined in this brief, personalized nutrition is a growing necessity, and cooking for someone with dysphagia is among the most personalized approach to food in food preparation. So thank you for listening, and I welcome any questions.
I'm sorry because you are quite long, so we don't have time for questions. You were too long, sorry.
Try to go as quick as we could.
One question only. Because we know not cooking and so on, so you don't need to tell it again. One question. Technical question. Well done, Lam.
C'est un plat qui est pour les enfants et pour les de tout âge.
Is it for any age?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Another question.
The main focus was to make the products taste like a BLT. Obviously, as like you go on, you could specialize it more, would make it more specific to the person. But the main aim was visual and the taste and the handheld aspect.
Yeah. Sorry.
Were all of your purees the same texture?
Yes. Yeah, that was hugely important. Had to be consistent throughout.
Okay, I understand you're trying to answer to a problematic for swallowing, but you could have maybe, I mean, for me, you could have you can make gels that have different textures. It could just make it more fun for even the patient themselves. I mean, that's just, you know, what I thought, but great job.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
By the way, I take the opportunity to remind you that the human sensory apparatus is designed by biological evolution to recognize contrasts. For example, you enter a room where people were smoking, you smell the odor of tobacco, and after some minutes, you don't smell anything. And when you go back, people say, wow, you smell the tobacco. The same with visual. You enter a room with yellow light, you see everything yellow, for example, in a tunnel in a car. And after some hundreds of meters, you can recognize the color of cars again. And the same with flavor. This is why, for example, when you want to reduce flavor, it's better to have layers with different flavor contents. And yesterday, Kurt Callaghan discussed reducing the sugar. Reducing the sugar, it's better if you have one part with no sugar at all, one part with little sugar, one part with more sugar. We see building the dish is a key for the flavor as well. So thank you very much, Liam. We need now to, you have to please unshare. And we invite the next online Rovak. So, Cormac.
Hi, how you doing?
Cormac. Do you say Cormac?
Cormac, correct.
Cormac, okay. Where are you?
In Kilkenny, Ireland.
Where?
Kilkenny, Ireland.
Again, Irish, okay. Thank you. Can you share now, please? It should come. Food for the future. We see it. If you put it full screen, it's better. And I will. So please stick to 10 to 15 minutes maximum so that we have time for question and discussion is better. So avoid generalities. We know that note by note cooking is very important and fun. So
Okay.
And focus on your dish, please. This is the most important. And the jury needs to understand very well how it is. And the jury as the audience, because we are not nothing as well. We need to understand very well how, because you cannot make it, so we need to have a good feeling of how it tastes. Can you put it full screen or not?
2 seconds.
Probably in view. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I'm struggling now.
Top of the screen, says Roshin.
Oh, 2 seconds.
At slides, perhaps, no?
Slideshow.
Slideshow.
Oh, it's on the slideshow above the.
Slideshow. Above editing.
Okay.
Okay, it works. Thank you very much. Okay.
So, well, thank you for having me to this. So I'm going to do a presentation on Food of the Future. My name's Cormac Rowe and I'm from TU Dublin, Ireland. So to give a rough outline how we're going to go through, so we're going to go through an intro, aims, objective, final materials, result, conclusions, and reference. So introduction, global health concerns. There is a growing awareness of disconnect between people and their choice of food, of appropriate food in society. And nations are suffering from a deluge of health problems arising from an increasing, changing, and complex relationship of their populations with their eating habits. Poor diet has been associated with many adult health problems, from obesity, diabetics, heart disease, and to potential cancer. And from the Irish Health Department of Health, some stark figures in 2013, 61% of all adults and 25% of all 3-year-olds are overweight or obese. So potential solutions to this for Food of the Future would be, as I say, no-by-no cooking was proposed by Hervé in 1994. By using this application of molecular gastronomy involving the use of compound ingredients, allows dishes to be created while also controlling all elements that pertain to the creation of the dish: food, energy, waste, nutritional setup. So the concept that I came up for this year's brief was a Sint apple mousse. And the background to this was when I come up with dishes, a lot of my philosophy comes from if you're eating out and you want a great meal, a customer needs to be able connect with the dish and understand where it comes from, but also not be able to create it at home or kind of go, it's wow. So the whole dish here was the title reflects the use of the synth, the short for synthesis, which references note by note cooking, a bit of fun. And then while also using a description for what the dish is. So people, and especially nowadays, people have a food phobia versus things they don't know what it is. So the idea with this dish was to create something that people can connect to and also be excited to eat, while also allowing the chef to control all dietary elements of the dish. So allowing the customer to have the dessert while also having half the calories of a similar dessert nowadays. So this is the final dish. The aims of the project were to develop a note-by-note dish using the theme of Food of the Future, carry out a sensory analysis of final concept, then do a nutritional analysis using Nutritic 6, and then compare the note-by-note dessert with a similar dessert created using traditional methods. And the dessert that was used versus the note-by-note dish was taken from a restaurant, 1-star Michelin. So the objectives, we had 6 elements of the dish. We had an apple mousse, an apple glaze, apple flue gel, a milk sorbet, a biscuit crumb, and a sugar spiral, a sensory analysis, and a calorie comparison. So the picture here shows the final dish. As you can see, you've got the main element, which is the apple mousse. Inside that, then you have an apple flue gel center, which is made from pectin flue gel. You've got an apple flue gel around the outside. You've got a milk sorbet on the side, a biscuit crumb, and then a twig also made from the biscuit, and then a sugar spiral for aesthetics. And the whole idea of this dish was as you cut into it, you've got this wonderfully light mousse. There's a little bit of liquid center that should pour out as they cut into it. The biscuit crumb was added for textural, a bit of a crunch. The sorbet then was to add a bit of fattiness, creaminess, and cool as they're eating it. And then the twig and the sugar spiral was for aesthetics and a bit of fun. We'll go through then just all the different elements that were used in the dish and just highlight some of the main elements that made the recipes work. So the most essential part of this dish was the apple mousse. You had, so the ingredients are on the left, the methods are on the right. And when you look at this recipe, the main thing with an apple mousse was to create a mousse basically using water, apple essence, and flavorings. To make this work, one of the 3 main elements to make it work would have been Ultra Whip, a xanthan gum, and Ultra Gel. When coming up to try get recipes or a starting point for this, I went online and looked a lot. The issue with, if you look at Salsa or MSK, they don't give out the exact ingredients, but they do give sample recipes. The issues with sample recipes, there was no complete recipe, so I had to use a combination of traditional methods with also recipes from online. So with the apple mousse, one of the main elements would have been the Ultra Whip. This has methylcellulose, chicory root fiber, and xanthan gum. And methylcellulose is a water-soluble polymer made from natural cellulose. It's a tasteless powder, but it has multiple factions of amplify, adhesive property, and thickening property. Your chicory root provides a binding, thickening, bulking, and a creamy texture. And then xanthan allows the thickening of a substance without heat and while also retaining while cool. And for an apple mousse, it needs to be light. It has to hold this texture and it has to have a creamy texture. If you look at the classic apple Bavor, it's cream, Italian meringue, and an apple puree. And that's what I was trying to achieve. So by using this, it allowed me to bulk up water sugar while achieving the texture I needed and also achieve a milk consistency that was needed. Then the Ultra Gel would have been the next main element. To make an apple shape as such, I had to put it into an apple mold, which then had to be frozen. The issue with freezing a mousse meant that I needed a stable structure. So as it froze, that when it defrosted, the structure stayed stable. The ultragel allowed that, and the ultragel was derived from a marine algae. This is from the MSK webpage. So this allowed the mousse to be frozen and defrosted while maintaining the structure without it deflating or becoming liquid. The next element would have been the apple glaze. So to create the visual aspect of the apple, it needed a skin. So we took the same aspect of almost a flue gel. This was water, sugar, pectin, citric acid, green coloring, and an aroma. We also added a small bit of milk powder to this to add an opaque glaze, as you didn't want the jelly see-through. Then we have the apple flue gel. The idea of the apple flue gel came from 11 Madison Park, probably 10, 15 years ago when I first saw it, but it allows the formation of a stable flue gel made by a agar. So by making it up into the solid form and then basically placing it in a Thermomix and using energy, it allows it to shear down to flue gel that even when frozen, defrosted still stayed stable. And to that then was flavorings. We added vitamin C to get a bit of vitamin C and citric acid to kind of reflect a Granny Smith apple flavor in your mouth. A milk sorbet then was simple. It's basically milk powder, sugar, and flavorings of also pectin. And the reason for pectin was maybe 15 years ago, I was trying to make a sorbet recipe with fresh mandarins for a package, but we couldn't get we got the flavor, but we couldn't get the mouthfeel, and pectin was the solution. It allowed it to be it firmed up the recipe, but when you blitz it, it gave a viscosity and mouthfeel that was pleasurable and allowed the flavor to last longer in your mouth. The biscuit crumb was for textural. We achieved this through adding basically albumin powder and water. So it basically made egg white. We then added sugar to this, oil just for the fat mouthfeel, and then we used malto sec to thicken up last. This was then baked in the oven. We cut some twigs out of this for the top of the apple, which were colored with a brown coloring. And then the rest were broken up into crumb, which added texture underneath the ice cream and also the apple. Underneath the ice cream, I also ensured that the apple or the ice cream didn't melt on the plate, but also added a nice crunch. And then lastly was then the sugar spiral, which is fondant and isomalt. And the reason for isomalt is it is very useful for chefs as it prevents very little moisture being absorbed into the tuile. And then the fondant is useful instead of sugar as it provides a crisper final product. Oh, sorry. Sorry, the screen shifted. So then on to results. So when we took the two recipes, on the left you have a recipe from the Note by Note cooking, and then on the right is a conventional recipe, which was an apple Beauvoir recipe, a vanilla ice cream, and an olive oil biscuit base versus the Note by Note. As you can see in the calories, the Note by Note cooking had 190.45 calories versus the modern traditional was 460. This is a huge difference. This pretty much means a Note by Note came in at 40% of the calories, with almost just under 60% of a difference. The second part of this one, the sensory analysis. The sensory analysis was carried out in class due to the restrictive nature of a 4-week development on the 6 participants in our class. At the final result was scored highly. The low score was a 4.2, with the sugar tuile scoring a 5. And as you say, obesity in the world doubled in 1990 and 2022, with over 820 of the population being labeled as obese. The Synth Apple Mousse was designed to replicate modern desserts in terms of texture, taste, and presentation, while also controlling the calorie intake. The results of the Note by Note dish showed that The dish contained only 41.3% of the calories of the conventionally made dessert. At the same time, the sensory analysis showed that the dessert scored highly when participants were tasting. In conclusion, the results of the 4-week project show very compelling evidence to support the debate that no-by-no cooking can be part of the solution to controlling the rise of obesity in modern society. The use of simple compounds such as H2O, water, and sugar, then combining these with molecular compound ingredients as agar, pectin, xanthan, and chicory root fiber, can be used to create texturally and flavor of some desserts that can showcase the wide adaptability of compound ingredients in forming dishes. The utilization of the benefits of compound cooking in conjunction with natural ingredients has untold potential to shape the future of food. And hopefully projects such as the current assignment will help promote the benefits of no-by-no cooking in the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, congratulations. Some remarks. It's funny to see that very frequently during competition like this, people use one colorant and instead of mixing many, you see. Or perhaps some did, but very frequently we see only one colorant, a green, a yellow, but we can play with color as well. And another comment about the flavor. You know, when I see, for example, tonka bean extract, it is a mixture of odorants. It is not a pure odorant. So it means that the flavor has been done with a mixture of colorants of which we don't control the various components in a way, except if you mix it with another extract, or for example, you mixed with Granny Smith flavor from MSK, aroma, vegetable, and glycerin, but we don't know which odorant compound is present. And this is a discussion that we had with Pasquale Altomonte on down Guyenne, because what they sell are pure compounds, which means that you decide for your own mixture. And of course, you can have much more possibilities. If you have the Granny Smith flavor, you have the Granny Smith flavor. So it is slightly less, I mean, potentially slightly more powerful. But anyway, it's not a critique, it's just an observation. Huh? Okay.
Yep.
Now there was another one about yellow pectin. Kelly, what is in yellow pectin? What?
Actually, in yellow pectin, it's not pure. You have pectin, an HM pectin, and some buffering salts inside as well. Yes.
Okay.
It's an HM, so it's a conventional, like kind of traditional pectin. What kind of pectin do you want to know?
In pectin, you have, you know, pectin is a product that you extract from vegetable. Okay, it is present in the cell wall. Okay, now we should say pectins because they are very different pectins. Some of them are long, some of them are short. They are polymers, and they have very smooth. There is an alternancy in the molecule. There is an alternancy of smooth and airy parts. So you have one smooth, one airy, one smooth, one airy. When it is smooth, it's mainly residues of galacturonic acid. Okay, and when it is airy, you have other sugar residue like rhamnose and so on, galactose, rhamnose, and so on. And depending on the plant source, you can have a lot of airy, a lot of smooth, a lot of rhamnose. So the pectins are very different. But now, galacturonic acid, you can have a methylation or not, or an acetylation. So depending on the pectin, you have a lot, the degree of methylation or acetylation is high or low, which means that the texture that you will find in the end is not the same at all. So this is why when I see yellow pectin, I don't know which kind, but probably you have technical documents with that. I methylated, okay. Okay. Is it in the technical spreadsheets? Okay. So when you buy this kind of products, please ask or go online to take the technical spreadsheets just to know which kind of product you will. It's completely different. I say it again. Some pectin you need a lot of acidity. Some pectin you don't need it. Some pectin you need a lot of sugar. Some pectin you don't need it. So that it can be very precise. Okay. Anyway, any question from the jury? Patrick? No. Guillaume, a question? Kelly? No. Dao? A question? Yeah.
You add a lot of mousse. The texture looks really foamy. Is this because you don't want to do something crunch? Because I know that most of the time what is difficult for us is to do the texture. So here's really foamy. Is this a choice or because you did several trial and you end up with the mousse?
The concept came from an apple bovar, which would be basically an apple mousse, Italian meringue cream, so it should be creamy and moussey. In hindsight, if I was to redo the dish, I probably wouldn't do it in an apple shape. To achieve the apple shape was the most complicated part because I have to freeze it hard to be able to demold it. If I was to do it again, I would do it in a simpler shape, but I have to demold and probably a lighter mousse. Because it had to be frozen demolded, it was slightly more dense than I would have liked at the very end, and that's just a very high point or high textural point for me. Hopefully that answers.
Thank you.
I propose that we move to the next competitor, so it should be Erin. Erin, are you here? She has a video. Okay. A video. Thanks, Cormac Rove.
Thank you.
I said Cormac but I don't know you. I should give your name as well. Cormac Rove. Rove?
Rove.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. A video from Erin. Here it is. I hope it will work. I should share first the screen. Okay, where is it? No, not this one. How does it work? Okay, sharing, first of all, sharing the screen. Okay, sharing the screen. Now the video. No, not this one. A video. Where is the video? No, here it is. So, okay. Perhaps it was.
Of my master's degree in food product development in TU Dublin. My product I'm here today is to discuss the future of food. This gives an insight into how the future.
Okay. No sound. Wow. Do you see the song somewhere? Where do you see it? Audio. No.
Try it again. Go ahead. Go back.
Stop sharing first. Perhaps I will try to show it here and not online because I don't know. When I share it, it closes everything. So let's try it this way.
Hi, my name is Erin Dwyer. I'm just finishing up my master's degree in food product development in TU Dublin. My product I'm here today is to discuss the future of food. This gives an insight into how the food of the future could be, with zero waste, reduced environmental impact, increased energy efficiency, and total control over all the ingredients in the food. Here's a quick example of future of food. Future of food, the name was created to include fruit, which is one of the things we're always told we increase in Ireland due to our low fiber intake. So some of the berries created here, such as raspberries, strawberries, all contain fiber or inulin. The coconut crisps contain crispy, starchy aspect to the dish, and the Italian meringue gives it a protein from the egg whites. And altogether, there's unique flavors, balance of textures, and different aromas to the dish. Building food for the future means meeting the UN Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. It means having enough food for growing generations and populations as the population on Earth will increase. Being the largest population ever, it's important that we have different ways to be able to feed and create food for the growing populations. This includes using note-by-note style cooking, which creates food in labs using dehydrated or minimal processed as compounds of food to create new ideas. Food for the future also needs to be created in line with the nutritional guidelines to ensure healthy diets going forward. In line with the HSE's healthy eating guidelines in Ireland, people are always encouraged to eat more fruit. This dish plays on the different types of fruits and creates them in a note-by-note style. Some of the fruits contain key components such as fiber, proteins, and even vitamins such as vitamin C, ascorbic acid. The flavor and the nutrition are unique in this dish as the nutrition is heavily controlled as you measure exactly which is put in, and the flavors are unique. Using different flavor compounds, it took a lot of trial and error to experiment with what flavors actually tasted good, and it became less about copying what the flavor of strawberries was like and more about finding a new way that they could taste interesting. The variety of textures also made this meal more balanced and more acceptable to different consumers. The sensory analysis or likability radar chart shows how the product was approved by the consumers. The overall appearance was liked very much by the participants. The flavors and textures also scored well as the colors. The smell or the aroma was what left much to be desired. It was very difficult using the compounds to create a flavorful and fresh feeling to the dish. This could be improved by adding mist or different aromas to the berries in future, but it's just limited with time and resources at this stage. This is a brief nutritics report which shows the nutritional level in the berries. It includes protein, carbohydrates, the amount of energy for the dish. It just shows that you can use note-by-note cooking to create nutritionally healthy meals. This chart doesn't include all the micronutrients, but this will be available in the full report to show that there is ways to create note-by-note dishes that are full of fiber, protein, vitamin C as well. The ingredients used for this dish are listed below. They're as pure as possible compounds. They wasn't possible to get pure compounds in every sense, but we use egg white powder, sucrose, sugar, flavorings, gelatines, citric acid, colorings, inulin, potato starch, oil, gluten, maltodextrin, and table salt. Some of the images are to the right there, and all of the full descriptions are in the report as well. The equipment was also really important for this report, that all the equipment was recorded and specified clearly in the report, including the type of microscales used, the type of mixer, the type of oven, blowtorch, molds, and thermometer. Precision was really important for this exercise. And finally, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm sorry I couldn't be there today to present this live. It was really enjoyable to get to create a note-by-note dish. It was something I hadn't done before. Just thank you very much.
Okay. We can upload, but she's not there. So, and now, Ayasi, so we are almost. Strong support from the FIP desk group, of course. Show me which one is it?
It's this one.
This one?
No, not that. Yeah, this one.
This one. Okay. But we need to share anyway.
I don't hear everything.
So sharing should be sharing. Let's try sharing. Sharing here. The screen. That's the screen. And now diaporama. Where do you see diaporama? Here. No? Here. Very good. And now you will use the microphone. Do you online? Can you hear us? Online, can you hear us? Someone? Cormac?
Yes.
Ah, you do. Okay, very good. So you will have to use the microphone for sure. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, use the microphone.
Okay.
You have to speak very, very close.
Oh my God.
No. You need, otherwise you don't get your diploma.
Can't hear me without it.
I'm not distributing the diploma.
I don't think so. I prefer not to use the microphone, but okay. Can I use this one?
Yes, but it's better to use.
Okay. So, imagine a world where everything around you is edible. And by edible, I mean everything. Picture waking up in the morning with a cup of coffee, stepping outside to a garden, and instead of just looking at it, you can eat it. Imagine you pluck a white flower and it will taste and smell like a creamy white chocolate. A yellow one, and it transports you to the tropical sweetness of a pineapple. A red one, and it's like biting into a juicy strawberry. What if you could eat the soil itself? And it will taste like chocolate, but smells like the first autumn rain and some hints of popcorn. What about the scattered leaves on the floor? Each one has a different taste. One has a Coca-Cola taste, another one like watermelon or your favorite childhood candy. And why stop there? What if just instead of rain falling from the sky, you can collect it in your cup and it will taste like a fresh drink, raspberry juice, vodka, wine, anything you desire. And now, just hold on into your childhood dream for a second. What if I could tell you that you can actually eat the clouds and they will like be so fluffy, so tasty, and they will taste like cotton candy? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Agathi, and this is the essence of my note-by-note dish, the edible garden. This is the only day I wish the weather was so gloomy so you can see the true colors of my dish. The edible garden is a note-by-note dish made from 5 elements. You have the clouds, you have rain droplets, you have 4 flowers, you have leaves, and you have the soil. This dish is served at room temperature. Now, back into reality. I just invited you into my imagination, not just to grab your attention during this presentation. I want everyone tasting my dish to feel, imagine, and experience this sensory experience. So, I want every element that you saw in my dish to transport you into a futuristic world, a world where food has no limits and everything around us in nature has potential. Why is it a note-by-note dish? I'm not gonna present what is note by note, but I tried as much as possible to use pure compounds to create everything. And I didn't use ready-made chocolate or juice or fruits or cream. I used pure compounds. I used flavors from Kitchen Lab, for example. I used aromas. I used pure compounds to create the textures that I wanted. And this is what makes this dish a note-by-note creation. Honestly, when I first heard about the theme, Food for the Future, I didn't want to create a classic dish. I didn't want to recreate a classic dessert, a fish, or a taco. I wanted to bring a new idea to the table, a new concept, which is my vision for the future of the food. Even elements we never imagine as food, as I stated, the clouds, the rains, are symbolic. They represent the possibilities of the future. Just as we can imagine tasting the clouds or exploring the texture of leaves, the soil, we might one day transform parts of nature that currently go to waste, like banana peels, avocado pits, forgotten plants, or unusual fibers, into something edible, nutritious, and flavorful creation. So this show shows exactly how science, creativity, and innovation in the future, food scientists, chefs, and chemists can reimagine what the nature offers to us to reduce waste, to create sustainable, flavorful, new experiences. So this is the future I imagine, a world where food is limitless, sustainable, we can create more with less, and we can break boundaries. So now let's move on to the flavor profile of my dish. I try to use as many flavors as possible. For example, the white flowers have the white chocolate flavor, and it's due to the vanillin. The pink flower has the strawberry flavor due to strawberry natural aroma extract. The yellow flower has a pineapple flavor. The soil, so when you get close to the soil, it smells like rain due to this chemical compound, popcorn, and it will taste like chocolate due to the cocoa powder inside. The leaves, each one has a different flavor. One has a Coca-Cola flavor, another watermelon and peach. The rain has a raspberry taste due to natural raspberry extract. And the cloud has the cotton candy flavor due to the ethyl maltol. So, moving on quickly to each element, how I made it. Just to tell you that the ingredients, you can find like the quantity of the ingredients in the reports, and they were like all adjusted due to the EU regulations. So the flowers and leaves were made just like the paste that they were made from is very similar to the sugar paste or pâte sucrée. So it was made by a very simple procedure, mixing those ingredients, heating the gel and gum, using the oven, and once the ingredients were the egg white powder, water, icing sugar, gel and gum, CMC. And for each flour, I took a part of the sugar paste and I put some food coloring I needed, and then I moved on into the shaping. For the shaping, when I rolled the sugar paste, and it was like a thin layer. Let's pretend it's the sugar paste. For the flowers, I took wooden sticks. I did small balls of these sugar paste so they can be the central bud. And then with the sugar paste, I drew a petal on the sugar paste with the tip of a knife, and then I cut it and I start layering around the central bud so you can get this realistic flower shape. For the leaves, it's the same thing, but I used a real leaf. I pressed it on the sugar paste so you can get the the veins, the real veins, and then I cut it with a knife. For the flavors, I didn't include the flavors inside my mixture. I sprayed each flour with a different flavor. And it was done before the presentation. So before I presented my dish, so you can smell it like as a fresh aromatic experience. And as you can see, the texture, to describe it for you, it was so soft, it was delicate, it was tender and a bit elastic. Moving on to the soil, I tried to create a real life soil. It's like real life soil. So it's also a simple procedure using only the oven and the blast freezer. When I melted the cocoa butter, I added all of the other ingredients like cocoa powder, maltodextrin, soy lecithin, and in the soil, I included the flavors inside of the mixture. The popcorn and the popcorn flavor and rain aroma, I used the kitchen lab and after it was a liquid form, I transformed it into the blast freezer, and once they were like frozen and solid, I tried to crush them to make it crumbly and looks like real soil. The texture, as you can see, they are slightly crumbly, powdery. It melts in the mouth immediately to the butter inside, the cocoa butter, and it smells earthy, cocoa-like, with hints of fresh rain and popcorn. For the clouds, it's a foam, it's a food foam. So I used the sugar ester emulsifier, water, cotton candy aroma, and I used the fish pump and the oven for the melting of the sugar ester. After that, the texture, you can actually feel like the foam was light, airy, and dissolves instantly, and it smells sweet, subtle, like cotton candy. Also, I used gels. I made the rain droplets using the reverse spherification technique. So I made 2 baths, one with sodium alginate and one with calcium lactate. I used blue food color for the color of the gel, and I added the raspberry flavor. I used a small spoon to create these small droplets, and then to create the visual representation, or before that, the texture was like the outer membrane because it's gel. So it's gonna be smooth. It was smooth. The inside was light and liquid, and it tasted like fresh water with a hint of raspberry. So to form this visual representation, I used a transparent sheet, a needle, and a transparent thread to like pierce the rain droplets to attach them and to put the clouds like on top. And as you can see, it's not only full of flavors, it's full of textures. There's solid, there's liquid, there's gel, there's foam, and there's also I named them all, yeah. And then you have different, like a full journey of experience of flavor, of texture. And this is my edible garden, the node by node dish. Thank you so much.
Congratulations for this very poetic demonstration. Do you have question? You speak French?
Yes, but I prefer to answer in English.
Yeah, but
Sorry, mais in particular.
pour le nuage, là,
Yes.
vous l'avez mis en suspension comment?
How did she suspend the cloud? En français, non?
Transparent file, une papier transparent.
Ah, papier transparent.
Oui. Donc en plastique.
Ah, d'accord. Et ça, le nuage est dur.
The problem that I faced while I was doing this, that because I had many elements to present on that day, so the foam wasn't that stable, so it needs more. And maybe we can create it in like different forms, like mousse. Maybe if I did it with mousse, it would be better, but I didn't have enough time to create it when we had the.
Okay. Another question? Oui.
Why did you not incorporate? I get the whole olfactive things with the spraying, but why not also incorporate the flavors inside so that you get the smell and then you also get more taste when you're actually chewing?
Like the liquid, I would think that they won't I would use a lot of quantity because when you mix it, you will use a lot of quantity, and due to EU regulations, some of them we can't use a lot, and I didn't want to include a lot of and I want the sensory experience because I want you to like this to smell like freshly smell when it's
Why not?
it's always like we can change, we can try.
Another question by the jury or by the audience? So you have to speak because you know there are people online.
Hi, just I have a quick question. If the droplets were gel, how did you like pierce them to put them on the cloud? Like they didn't like explode, or how did you do that?
Because they have inside, and I did them in a way that they are like when you pierce them, some water will exit, and that's it. And it's I pierced them with a needle, so some water will go out, and it's just they will stay like the same.
Okay, so it's time now for two things. The jury will have to meet somewhere, perhaps in the back. Okay. So Roisin will tell you about the criteria, very important. We have to offer criteria and we have to follow the criteria that we offered. That's very important. And now we have the pleasure to have Pasquale Altomonte, chef, making a demonstration using the microphone as well. So I can hold it. Or we move the table here so that you can have a microphone. You need to be in the center so that the camera can see you. So we have to first close this, stop sharing somewhere. Okay, here it is. This one, stop sharing. Here it is. Now you can see, do you see Pasquale? Yes, we do. You see Pasquale on the left of your screen. Perhaps even closer. Oh, t'aurais pas ça, c'est bon. Ah oui, mais il faut le reste. And even closer. Okay. Voilà. Pasquale, it's for you. Ah, there are bubbles forming. Oh, I'm very happy. I can tell you I'm very happy. Because when I proposed molecular cooking a long time ago, I had the idea of pumps because siphons are not sustainable. You know, in siphons, you have the small cartridges, and the cartridges in N2O. And indeed, be careful with the cartridges because people are having drugs with that. They are addicted to this kind of product, but it's not sustainable. Contrary to a pump, a small plastic pump, it's very cheap. It's completely sustainable. You just blow some air in a liquid and you make a foam. So it's much better. Kill the siphons. So, Pasquale, I leave you the floor while the jury.
Right.
And thank you for coming.
Good morning, everyone. So as it was already explained, I'm not going to dwell on too much. My name is Pasquale Altomonte. My wife and I created a Kitchen Lab Food in 2013, real briefly, as more experimental. And as of 2022, I'm 100% focused on Kitchen Lab Food. So what I do is I give classes, I develop dishes, and so on and so forth. And the whole idea is that you can make things really, really quickly and simple using pure components today. So usually I do salty dishes. Today, I couldn't bring all that stuff from Geneva. So there's going to be a quick tasting. I'm going to speak for a couple minutes, then you guys can come forward and taste the stuff and I'll explain it to you. Everything was made purely, there's crisp, and the idea is to use all cucumber. So here, there is no cucumber. There's the actual cucumber flavor. The taste that you're going to get is from the notes that we use. So we use popcorn, cucumber. I made also a kind of soil that you will taste. And it's made from a sugar and water that's boiled at 130 degrees. And then I kind of made my own chocolate. So it's cocoa powder. There's a little bit of tapioca and also some, yeah, things like that. And there's to make the gel, it's the same thing. The gel was quite simple. It's just agar-agar. So a little bit of sugar, some tartric acid, which is really fun to use. So it gives you a bit of balance between sweet, savory. In the crisp itself, there's no sugar. It's simple. It's really, really fun. It's easy to make. You use, again, tapioca flour. It's a mix of tapioca and corn, a little bit of oil, then water. You make a paste. It's dried in the oven for about 45 minutes, and then you fry it. And you get these wonderful crisps that you will taste. And then to add a little bit more, this is more the fun part. Because when you're taking it in your mouth, you don't close your mouth. If you want all the flavor, you have to kind of like breathe in. And then you pop little bubbles. And you guys all know that. So I'm not getting you anywhere. So I think the best part is if you guys want to try it, just come to me. And then we can have this kind of like, debate, question open. Is it okay for you, Hervé, if we? Yeah, okay.
Hit the microphone to speak.
I'll delegate someone to can you? And basically, I'm just going to get you guys to try this. So this one is the one that's going to have the chocolate flavor. There's no, well, the chocolate is remade. So basically, I put the kind of soil on the crisp. And why I do that first, it's because when you're building something, if I put the wet ingredient first on the crisp, it's just going to get soft. You won't have the crisp anymore. So first, we do this. Then we take a little bit of this. This is the one that has, yeah, exactly. So this is going to be cucumber. And, oh, if I mix like that, that's not going to work. I messed that up. So this is the cucumber, and you're going to get like a citric taste, kind of like lemon from the tartric acid, which is really fun. So I invite you guys to take that in your mouth, crunch it up, eat it. And as you do that, go ahead, don't worry. Go ahead. There's got to be a first one. And then to rinse your palate, we'll have the bubbles. So if someone can plug in a little bubble, yeah. That's after. So I'm going to work a little bit faster with both my hands here. And then if you guys want to try to build your own, go right ahead. So the goal is really to have something sweet, but not overly sweet. And yeah, you got to wait for, and while I'm doing this, does anyone have any questions about why, how, or if you guys know everything, then that's fine too. That's my secret. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna come to Dublin and show you guys. Oh, so you take notes. Okay, you can unplug that, please. Very easy. Yeah. Thank you. You guys can try this. Take the plate and pass it around, please, as I will make more. And so the foam is easy. Water, the cucumber note, a little bit of sugar, but very, very little because I didn't want it to be overly sweet. A a very, very small amount of xanthan gum and then lecithin. The lecithin will give you the bubbles and the xanthan gum will stabilize them. Yeah, from soy. It's soy lecithin. So, driving everywhere. So, what do you guys think of the flavors and the tastes and? Well, for the ones that. Okay, is this something that you guys think you can do by yourselves? It's quite easy. Which part? This one? It's you make a paste out of cornstarch and tapioca, oil, water, and then you dehydrate it or dry it in the oven. And when you have your dry sheets, you fry them. So you have more water and starch than oil. Oil is very little because then you fry it. So the oil is only there so you can bind everything. You make an emulsion basically.
Freeze dry or dehydrate? Just
Oven. You put your oven on fan, and I put it at 95 degrees Celsius, and then I just driving it. So go ahead.
Can we try and be baking instead of frying it?
Yes, it won't puff up.
And for the normal.
I tried that. I use rapeseed oil. It's a neutral flavor. And you can try it without anything. It won't have much flavors. And then.
This was what?
So this is the cucumber note, the water, the sugar, and also the tartaric acid. So this is the fun part actually. Yeah, that's the acidic, the fun part. I'm gonna make one for Hervé.
I had the cucumber.
You had the
cucumber, yes.
You did try it?
Yeah, so cucumber chocolate.
Ah, cool.
Thank you. I like it, by the way.
Thank you. And altogether this balance, and this is basically just to rinse your palate.
So what you have a starchy sensation.
Yes, that's the starch used actually. So, but you guys can all take a spoon and serve yourselves and make them explode.
Yeah, the color is so nice.
So you can have the recipe for your cloud and.
Yeah. Oh my God, the cucumber. Yeah.
So this it's supposed to wash your palate actually.
Thank you.
And the starchy thing from here might be the agar actually. No. So this is just something that can be quickly done. It's cocoa powder, but there's no cocoa butter. I use oil. Yeah, exactly. No, the only added flavor in here is a little bit of popcorn. Yeah, absolutely, go. It's there for you guys to. I made the whole thing, but then you can taste it. That's the whole fun part about Helping cooking is that there's no limits, and you have like these components separately. They have a distinct flavor, and then when you combine them, the role as the chef is to give the balance. Yeah, I know, but I'm a big crazy. Associated with so my engineering background, I always want to know how things work. And then having done many competitions as a chef. So I have the scientific approach, and then flavor wise, I happen to have a good palate. This is what people tell me.
What is the flavor?
That's cocoa powder, oil,
and sugar at 130.
I'm sorry to ask again, what gelling agent did you use in that?
This is agave, so this
Just agave.
just very, very simple. I wanted something quick and also to be able to bring here. So that's it's quite yeah. I mean, you can all of this you can do it in just a few minutes.
And you also had to play with acidity to make it.
That's the tartaric acid inside. But it goes a long way. So you really need to add like really small quantities and taste as you go, because if you add like just half of this spoon and then it's inedible, you won't be able to eat it. There's literally like 1 gram, and I had 200 milliliters.
What flavor is this?
They confiscated the rest. Just to give you an idea, 200 milliliters is that 1 gram. Yes. Which you can get the tartaric acid from Louis Francois, very good quality. That's actually what I used.
Did you use like is it tartaric acid, the predominant acid in the cucumber, or just
No, that's because I wanted that taste to give balance. I didn't like it. That tartaric was the one that I prefer to give you more the closest thing to something citrusy. That's basically it. And to give you balance between sweet, vegetable from the cucumber, something like that. So it makes your palate goes a little bit wild. You have something sweet, something acidic, something crunchy, something more earthy. Than the chip is really plain. So it's just a vessel and a crunch. It's not really there for flavor.
And also using citric acid instead of.
I tried most of them and I really came back to that one because that's the flavor profile that I wanted. That's the closest thing that comes to getting a citrus fruit as far as the flavors. Then again, it's my palate, so maybe. I just want this to rinse your palate at the end. So it would be an experience. If I were in a restaurant or you were to hire me for your private events, that's exactly what it would look different. Obviously, this is the really smaller. I would put that on the side, so you would get everything all at once, and then you would have the explanation of how you proceed on your on eating it. You can have it before, you can have it after, but I prefer it after because it has its use to just cleansing your palate. That's it. But you could put it here, but then you'd really have to focus on putting it on the gel, because as soon as it touches the crunchy part, it will get soft. Well, I mean, you can do the experiment, but you already know what's going to happen. This thing in a couple of seconds is just going to get soft, and it defeats the whole purpose of making something crunchy.
And then like, how did you achieve this kind of the crumbly texture?
That's because exactly. So you're recreating melted chocolate on one end, and on the other end you have the water and the sugar at 130, and that the shock of the temperature. Because in chocolate, if you were to use chocolate, you have all the emulsifiers, you have all the fats, you have everything in it. So you're just taking those elements, you're recreating those elements, and then when you add that paste to the sugar and you whisk it in, you have like a crumble texture. Exactly. As soon as you get the sugar at 130, you add your oily, fatty kind of chocolate to that. You whisk. Exactly. And it incorporates. You have like crystals. You can eat them. They're more crunchy. Then it melts in your mouth. But I didn't want that. I wanted more of a soil texture. And so then after that, you just mix it. Thank you, guys. So I give classes and I do private events. And just recently, I also have a food truck, but the food truck is different. I don't do this in a food truck. It's a waste free. I use more ingredients that everybody relates to. But I choose my ingredients in a way that
Thank you. Now the jury finish ranking. We will be very happy to announce the results very soon. If we can have, please, the jury coming to the stage. Not so we have to applaud for Pasquale Altomonte. I remind you that this chef is a very competitive one. So Pasquale, again, congratulations. Very good. And please, the jury. So Kelly T from Louis François Company, partner of the contest for a long time. Patrick Terrien, chef Patrick Terrien, we should say. Chef Guillaume Ziegler. We need Pasquale, down Guyenne. If you have your coat, yes, it's better. Sure. It's professional. We need Jean-Pierre Lepelletier and Rochenberg as well. We need to have all the jury together. You can go on your left slightly, and we will announce. No, Jean-Pierre Lepelletier is missing. Rochen, can you go here? Yeah, you're in the jury. Yeah? No. Anyway, jury organizer. The chef is having the coat. It's much better. Yeah. Right coat. And Jean-Pierre Lepelletier. Who should announce? I should announce. Okay. But I don't remember the full names. So or I go. You have the full name. Okay. So two categories. So probably we can invite Mehdi Cronier first. He's first of his own category. Please, can you come? Congratulations for Mehdi Cronier. Come in the middle. So you have to shake hands with anyone. So no, but I mean, this is not only shaking hands. It is a very official congratulations, which is more important. So congratulations for the job. You did very well. It's a pity that you are alone in your category because you did well and probably you would have won for sure. So congratulations. Yeah. Do you agree that it was wonderful? It was wonderful. Huh? Beautiful dish, well done, well organized. So, and there is a diploma. Rochelle, do you have the diploma? And we will give the diploma. So now we move to the student category. I know that the student category is quite heterogeneous because there are FIBDA students and there are students in the culinary arts section in Dublin as well. So it's not exactly homogeneous, but anyway. So we begin. Number 4, Liam. Liam is online. Congratulations, Liam.
Thank you very much.
I don't have your name. What is the family name?
Bird.
Liam. How do you say Liam?
Bird.
Liam Bird. So yes. Liam Bird, fourth. Remember that she was preselected, so she had first one step, and now it's fourth. Okay. So Liam, we are going to send you your diploma by post.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, number three is number 3. She's not there. It's Erin. So congratulations for Erin. What's the name? The family name of Erin? Oldwyer. Erin Oldwyer. Oldwyer. Yes, Oldwyer. And because she's Irish, we should say Oldwyer. No, it's a joke. Okay, so now we move to so we shake hands with Erin. Congratulations. No, the problem of smiling always or joking is you are not considered as serious. But some serious people don't consider that you are serious, but I'm very serious. You can trust me. So number two, because number 2, indeed there are 2 number 2. And the number 2 are Cormacro.
Thank you.
And ISC. Can you please come? ISC. So this is for I see. And what about Mehdi? Mehdi, we have the diploma. You can give the diploma. No, the jury should kiss you, but anyway, by those time we have to be very careful. Okay, stay here, please, in the middle. And number one, Sarah Vanan.
Hi, thank you.
Siva Rakasam.
Yes, you're right.
Unfortunately, you're not here to get your prize, your diploma, everything. So, okay. So,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
One word from the member of the jury. Alors, tu le dis en français, je traduis.
Voilà, vas-y.
Ok.
Un très grand mérite d'abord, enfin, c'était, je pense, un avis assez général, un très grand mérite pour avoir fait un travail salé.
Ah, okay. So making savory instead of sweet was more difficult, and the jury appreciated that much.
Et chaud.
And hot. Important to have something hot.
Après, on a vu qu'il avait bien suivi le thème.
Okay, the topic was well followed, so but the topic was too broad, so we don't. The technique, everybody could do technique. The technique is easy, by the way.
Et puis pour l'art, on est plein d'espérance dans le goût.
And for the art, they have hopes in the flavor. Okay, because it's not so easy to taste directly. Okay, so perhaps in the future we have to move to real preparation to taste. But anyway, Guillaume, in English?
In English, yeah. No, it was a very interesting dish because it was combining all aspects that we have said just before. And we have the contrast of textures, and the game of temperature was really appreciated also. So yes, definitely, if we have a chance to taste, we would be happy. Thank you.
Nothing much more to add. It was very interesting as well to see the contrast temperature, as they said, the work on the savory side, and also the nutritional side, which was interesting because you use like chlorella and so on. So it was an interesting aspect as well. So congratulations on your work.
Thank you.
It was very difficult for the jury to agree with all the contestants because we have so many different kind of dishes, kind of taste, colors, and presentation. But we all agree about finally with the podium, so we're really happy. So thank you for all the competitors.
Just before giving the microphone to Patrick, I would say that I was surprised that Sarvana won because he made a lot of explaining. No, you know, there was a difference in terms of presentation. He did not present it very sexily, let's say. No, he made like a course. They were table, long explanation, long text. But anyway, finally the jury decided. So you see, perhaps in this kind of contest, we have to focus more on the dish than on outside. So I was discussing that during the course. Intrinsic is probably better than extrinsic. We have to discuss that later. Anyway, Patrick, you do it in French and I translate. Fanny, culinary alchemistry. Okay, this is the first proposal that should be probably improved later, so that it can be used by professional chefs. No. You say that the real chefs are far from this kind of results? They are behind, so the chefs are behind the competitor of this contest. Okay. And you would like to taste, like everyone, okay. And Pasquale?
Just congratulations to everyone. And keep in mind that textures is very important, and flavors. Textures, flavors, and then fun. And thank you guys.
We did not say that Roshin and Pauline Danaher is online. They were the organizer of the preparation, so they were in Dublin.
Yeah.
How did it go in Dublin?
Yeah, well, I'd like to thank Pauline very much because she's online. Because Pauline is the chef and I'm not a chef, so I think she helped you, showing you yeah, so that was really useful. And 4 of the competitors from TU Dublin are chefs, professional chefs, so it's a bit hard to compete when you don't have the chef background. But I hope the message today is you can get inspiration, and especially the new cohort coming to Dublin. And I'm glad you came, because now you see what the competition is. Okay, you might be here next year, standing here, so that's what standard we need to see. No pressure. Okay, so okay.
And now some journalists asked me picture of the competitors. I have only a picture of with the diploma. Yes, with the diploma. Show the diploma as well. Yeah. And I have the two competitors present together here. Thank you very much. And all the three all together.
You can ask someone.
Okay. Okay, and everybody together. Can you go in the center, please? So we are all in the movie. Very good.
It's all right.
You can see everybody?
Yeah. Okay.
Make many, huh? Yeah. 4, 5 of the.
3, 2, 1. Vive la Chine.
Yes. Yeah, leave us in there.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much. So, again, thank you for the. And so let's have fun with So thank you for everyone. The microphone is somewhere. We have lost the microphone. So we are.
Excuse-moi. Je suis désolé, il faut vraiment que je parte.
Ah bon? Okay.
Donc, je te dis au revoir.
We lose Jean-Pierre Lepelletier. Jean-Pierre Lepelletier is not staying with us. So thank you again for Jean-Pierre Lepelletier, wonderful chef of the Toque Blanche International. And see you next. Jean-Pierre is regularly member of the jury. So thank you, Jean-Pierre. There are gifts for the winners as well. So there will be prizes given by Louis-François. Can you say what you have in your bag?
Yeah, I already gave someone to Mehdi and to Agathe, but there are some goodies and some with also ingredients as well for you to try out. So some of the most used there and some new ones. So maybe you can just play more with ingredients and see what you can make.
Thank you very much. And Dan Nguyen and Pasquale Maltomonte are giving prizes. Can you explain what you are giving?
Yes, it's just some T-shirts and aprons so that you guys can stay clean when you're doing your experiments.
So thank you. The T-shirts from Kitchen Lab Food. Remember, Kitchen Lab Food. They are in Switzerland. You can order odorant preparation to them. And they need probably 1 week to deliver that by the post. Okay. So congratulations to the winners. Let's meet next year about this new contest. We have to decide for a topic. Thank you and see you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
So again, congratulations to the winners. And now I'm closing the session. Bye-bye.
No, but what? Are you good again? Wait. You know,